next generation of light beer. With only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Flight by Yingling. Raise the bar.
Is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. The Giants in the market for their 6th head coach the last decade. They fired Brian Daboll after a 2-8 start for the 3rd straight season. Team did win a playoff game his first year, but things have not gone well since for New York. Assistant head coach and offensive coordinator Mike Kafka is the interim coach. Joe Schoen remains GM and will lead the head coaching search. 2 names come immediately to mind for our Harry Douglas.
Jesse Minter, he's done a phenomenal job being the defensive coordinator for the Los Angeles Chargers. And remember, he has ties to the Michigan program, winning the national championship there, and also the Baltimore Ravens. Clint Kubiak, his connection to Mike Shanahan and Kyle Shanahan and that whole tree. You see what he's doing right now out there in Seattle with Sam Darnold.
Kubiak is Seattle's offensive coordinator. Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow returned to practice today in a limited capacity. 21-day window for him to be activated off IR's begun. Burrow hasn't played since week 2 after surgery to repair a turf toe injury. Broncos cornerback Alex Singleton underwent surgery Friday for testicular cancer after being diagnosed last week. He said he expects to return to the field in the coming weeks.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ Chris Candy coming up Tuesday. Drake May has the patch rolling, but where will they land on my power rankings? Find out at 6:30 a.m. Eastern. It's unsportsmanlike, weekday mornings at 6, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Relief Windows. I'm Matt.
This is Jack O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Tigers lose, Saints win. Weird. Peter Burns next hour. Ton to do. Let us begin as we do every single day.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
All right, y'all, getting rolling here. Busy Monday. LSU drops one in Tuscaloosa. I don't think anybody's necessarily super surprised at the outcome. I mean, LSU was a double-digit underdog on the road, but certainly disappointed with how it played out. Disappointing, but not surprising. The LSU defense went on the road there to Bryant-Dennehy Stadium and held Alabama to 20 points. That's the second lowest offensive output of the season for Alabama. The only lower output they had was the 17 points they scored in the season-opening loss to Florida State. So you went on the road, you held Alabama, a top 5 team in the country, in their building to 20 points, and you lost because your offense is what it is. And so, like we discussed last week, you can't install a new offense. You can't dramatically change things. And some of those things that you saw, they rolled Nussmeier out to the right a little bit. But by and large, you are what you are. You can't go make a trade to improve your personnel. And if you go on the road and you're trying to pull an upset of a top 5 team, you just can't make mistakes. And unfortunately, LSU made too many unforced errors. You committed 2 turnovers in the ballgame. You had 10 penalties. I know they were flagged just once, and you can look at that disparity. However, 7 7 of LSU's 10 penalties were pre-snap penalties. These are objective, false start, illegal snap, illegal formation. Like, those are things that you control. You missed a 30-yard field goal. I know they missed a short one too, but I'm not talking about what they did. I'm talking about what you did. You missed a 30-yard field goal. That cost you an opportunity late in the game. Whenever they kicked the field goal late, made it a 2-score game. For all intents and purposes, it was over. You have 1st and goal at the 8-yard line. You end up kicking a field goal because you have a delay of game, followed by a timeout, and then you take a 14-yard sack. Instead of stepping up, you roll back into pressure on a 3-man rush. These are all self-inflicted wounds. You wasted timeouts in each half as the play clock's winding down, something that has plagued this team for 2 years. Trey'Dez Green had a drop in the third quarter when it's still a 1-score game and maybe you're trying to go get a touchdown, a 2-point conversion to tie. It's third down play. It's wide open. Drop. P.J. Woodland, pass interference on their first touchdown drive. Set them up at the 4-yard line. Next play, they were in the end zone. You just can't make that many mistakes and expect to pull off the upset. You play clean, maybe you have a different result. Of course, the result that everyone is going to talk about, and rightfully so, is that you now have a full-on quarterback controversy. Prior to Saturday, it was just fan chatter. It was fans want to see the other guy. And as we talked about here, there were, when Brian Kelly was still the head coach, I mean, I've been told from people inside of the program that there were coaches on staff that wanted to change, that wanted to see Van Buren play. So there was a fan sentiment there, certainly, but there were people on staff as well. Well, all the conversation goes away on Saturday when after one drive in the third quarter, Garrett Nussmeier is benched and Michael Van Buren goes into the ballgame. Because now it's no longer just a conversation piece. You saw it happen. So now, moving forward with 3 games remaining, it is fair to say if the offense is scuffling with Nussmeier, do they put Van Buren in? Does Van Buren start? Like, all of that stuff is now a very fair conversation. But Garrett Nussmeier in the game on Saturday didn't hurt you, per se. He played a very clean football game. He was 18 of 21 passing. He did not turn the ball over. His QBR was a 79.5. His rating was a 134. He didn't hurt you, but he also didn't elevate you. And that's kind of the problem. Frank Wilson on Monday, in his open, was talking about that 2-minute sequence at the end of the first half. And I know what happened in the first drive of the third quarter where Garrett ended up getting benched, right? It was the delay of game, followed by the timeout, then he took the sack, then he's out of the game. But remember that sequence there at the end of the first half. They missed the field goal. You have the ball at your 9-yard line, 2:28 to go in the half. You're down 7. It's 10-3, and you're getting the ball to start the third quarter. You're thinking, let's go get points here, go back-to-back. You change the whole complexion of the game. And that didn't. And listen, I'm going to come back and explain, but listen to what Frank said on Monday.
We're going to try to win this game. We're not going there for a moral victory and hope that we can stay with them. We're going to try to win the game. And so with 2:20 and change left, down by 7, we try to get started to get a 2-minute drill going for our football team. I thought, first down we pick up 2-3 yards. Second down, I thought we had a good call. We didn't convert. Third down, I think we got even a better call. They're exactly where we thought they would be. It's the exact defensive call we anticipated, and we don't convert there, unfortunately.
So what happened? He's telling you, we knew what they were going to do defensively. We had the call, and we weren't able to convert. Well, on first down, they ran the ball with Xavier Thomas. And when Xavier motioned in the backfield, they handed it off for 2 yards. On second down was when Caden Durham caught the dump-off pass for -3. You might think, what's he talking about? Well, you don't see it on TV, but if you go watch the All-22, they had Trey'Dez Green wide open on that play, and Nussmeier didn't see him. They had the play, and instead Nussmeier, with pressure, didn't uncork it, dropped back, dumped it off to Caden, and they lose 3 yards. It's 3rd and 11. And you could say in that situation, run the ball. Run the ball, punt. Well, they have the play they want. This is the one they did show on the telecast. Xavier Thomas is open downfield, and Nussmeier doesn't uncork it. Instead, he throws an incomplete pass, the clock stops. And in that situation, for a veteran player, you got to know you're better off taking a sack or scrambling there instead of throwing an incomplete pass. Because the clock stops. Now, they get the ball with 56 seconds. If Nuss gets sacked, Alabama has no timeouts. Nuss gets sacked there or just runs and gets what he can, a yard, doesn't matter. You run 40 seconds off the clock. They're getting the ball with maybe 20 seconds left in the half with no timeouts. Instead, 3 plays later, they're in the end zone, and now it's 17-3, and it feels like curtains because you can't move the ball. And then you had that sequence to start the third quarter. Look, Michael Van Buren wasn't great. He gave you a different dimension, but the offense is what it is. He took 2 sacks. He was 5 of 11 passing. His QBR was 49. The thing we've talked about with Van Buren since camp is the inaccuracies. The pass to Xavion, the back-to-back plays they reviewed, the pass to Xavion, he was open. He threw a bad ball. Xavion came up with the catch. Next play, Kyle Parker was open, threw a bad ball. He couldn't catch it. Van Buren, though, has a skill set that is different than Nussmeier, and you wonder how high is the ceiling, and that's something they're probably going to chip away at here in these next 3 games to figure out what they have. But Van Buren played the whole second half and managed 1 field goal drive. And that was after the Perkins strip sack fumble, so you had the ball. You recovered that at their 38-yard line and only managed a field goal. So Van Buren gave you a different look, but you didn't have a different result because this offense is what it is. You have a bad offensive line, your inability to consistently run the football. It's just what you are through 9 games, and you can't expect that to change. You did see a change at right tackle. Weston Davis started. He was benched at half. Ori Williams played the second half. But look, first snap of the game, Weston Davis, false start. First snap of the third quarter, Ori Williams, false start. Their Pro Football Focus grades were comparable. Williams graded a little bit better. Ori Williams said on this show early in the season that he's a little more comfortable at guard than tackle, but this may be his path to the field. So you come out of this game, whatever slim hope you might have been hanging on to for a playoff push potentially at 9-3 with road wins at Bama and Oklahoma, those are gone now. Again, I don't think that was realistic, but at least mathematically was there. Now it's gone. You have 3 games left. You have a full-on quarterback controversy. There's going to be fan unrest. If you start Nussmeier and they have to punt, fans will boo. They bring in Van Buren, fans will cheer. That's what you do. I don't like it, but that's what fans that choose to go to Tiger Stadium Saturday are going to do. And it's unfortunate that that's how Garrett Nussmeier's story at LSU is going to end. And similarly, Frank Wilson's chances of getting the job probably ended Saturday in Tuscaloosa as well, fair or unfair. I suppose there's always a possibility. I thought the same thing. I remember having this conversation with Charles Handegriff in the press box after LSU lost to Florida in 2016. That was the game that was moved because of Hurricane Matthew. When Geis went the wrong way and they got stuffed at the goal line. I had that conversation with Handegriff in the press box. I remember vividly saying, well, I guess that pretty much wraps up Ed's chances of getting the job. And they went on and beat Texas A&M. The Tom Herman thing fell apart. They rush Ed to the podium. So you never know what may happen in a coaching search, but certainly whatever Hail Mary of a shot Frank had to get in the job full time, probably felt like you needed to pull a major upset like this one. And unfortunately for him, it didn't happen. So they'll play out the final 3 games and let the chips fall where they may. And we'll learn a lot about Michael Van Buren's future at LSU. But the Tigers lose 20-9. That was gettable because this is not a dominant Alabama football team. This is an Alabama football team with a quarterback playing at an exceptionally high level that has found a way to win close games, and you give them credit for that. But that was a gettable game. Your defense went on the road and held them to 20 points, and you just can't figure out how to get the offense going as they haven't been able to do so far in 9 games. Only 3 to go before they wrap up a very disappointing 2025 season. All right, it's After Further Review. Show Up and Every Day is brought to you by Bud Light. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR, the official beer of the LSU Tigers, and the official beer of your New Orleans Saints. How about the Hoodats? Got to win this weekend to salvage something on this weekend, this football weekend for Louisiana. But I tell you, I was drinking plenty of ice cold Bud Light this Saturday and Sunday. Saturday watching the Tigers, Sunday watching the Hoodats. Make sure you get yours wherever you shop or at your favorite watering hole or restaurant. Drink easy with the great taste of the Tigers and the Saints, Bud Light. All right, y'all, it's AFR. Monday shows are brought to you by Relief Windows. Glad to have you hanging out with us here. If you're watching on YouTube, please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. We appreciate you for being there with us. Thanks to all watching us on WBTR as well, or listening on all of our affiliates, Lafayette, Lake Charles, Alexandria, wherever you may be. Thanks for hanging out with us here on this Monday. We'll knock out a break, come back. The New Orleans Saints. Okay, Tyler. I see you, Tyler Shough. Okay. Talk about it next, AFR.
After further review.
There are 1.5 million realtors in the United States of America. 1.5 million. Darren James this year is number 14 in the country when it comes to the number of transactions. Think about what I just said. 1.5 million realtors, and Darren James right here in our market, number 14 in the country when it comes to the number of homes closed. Nobody, this isn't my opinion, this is objective data. Nobody gets to the closing table faster or more often than Darren James. So if you need to sell your home, you need to sell it for the most amount of money, you need to sell it quickly, you need Darren James. I'm going to give you Darren's cell phone number in just a second, but remember also, working with Darren obligates you to nothing, and he's got his guaranteed sale program. Agree to a price and a deadline. If he doesn't sell your home at that price by that deadline, he'll have it bought with cash or he'll sell it for free. So call Darren James today.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
I'm lawyer Collins Locke Meredith. Among the most important factors to consider when you're hiring an injury attorney is trust. You trust your attorney will put your interest first, treat you with respect, fairness, and honesty. You trust them to be there for you when you need them. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, thousands of clients have trusted us to represent them, and for good reasons. Please visit us at LockeMeredith.com to learn more, and whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
When it comes to industrial construction, River Parish Contractors can do it all. Mechanical, structural, custom fabrication, specialized welding, and turnaround services. Strategically located in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, we have the local team with the experience and commitment to safety to manage the most complex industrial projects. Period. Here's the deal. Partnering with us means your project is delivered on time, on budget, and most important, safely. River Parish Contractors, let's get building.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
3rd and 7. Saints 1 of 4 on 3rd down. Here comes some pressure. Shough out of the shotgun. Throws it deep down the far sideline looking for Olave, who makes the catch. And Olave will just tiptoe down the sideline into the end zone for a touchdown.
I think, CO can attack every element of this field. And so, we're going to be able to utilize it. He obviously made a phenomenal play downfield a couple times. A few of the other guys got in there and played some roles, maybe not as many targets to those guys, but those guys were out there playing, and they did an awesome job executing. And so we feel like this group is going to grow together and progress.
Mike Haas on the Saints Radio Network with the call. Kellen Moore after the Saints get their first road win of the season, 17-7 over the Panthers. By the way, fitting for Chris Olave. Remember, it was on that field a year ago where some of us thought his career might have ended with the devastating hit that he took. He was carted off the field, the concussion that cost him a chunk of last year. And to go back and have the day he did was I'm certain for him, gratifying. 5 catches, 104, a touchdown. His 4th touchdown on the season. He's 1 away from tying his career high for touchdowns in a season, which is 5. So nice day there for Chris Olave. I left Tyler Shough's first start against the Rams thinking, okay, well, that's enough to justify seeing more. And the thought maybe, well, it's one game, and what are you going to learn? I certainly wouldn't leave one game thinking, okay, he's the franchise quarterback. But I could leave one game going, yeah, there's nothing there that tells you he's ever going to be a starter. Remember last year when Jake Haener went in? I think it was the Kansas City game on Monday night when Carr was hurt and Haener went in. You could tell from that one outing, like, yeah, this is never, ever going to happen. So you couldn't necessarily confirm what he would be, but you could certainly confirm what he wouldn't be. And there was enough there in that game against the Rams to go, all right, well, let's see some more. I left this start against Carolina thinking they might, bold underscore 72-point font Times New Roman, might have their franchise quarterback. I'll come back to Shough in a second. And that was the story. But the defense was great. You allowed 7 points. And by the way, their only touchdown on the opening drive of the game came after you had an interception. I mean, DeMario Davis had a pick on that drive that was negated because Justin Reed hit Bryce Underwood in the face mask. It was a good call, but it had nothing to do with the interception. So really, your defense played nearly flawless in that respect. You allowed only 175 total yards. Rico Dowdle, who we spent all last week talking about, has been outstanding. He's the only running back in the NFL who's had 3 performances of over 130 yards. And you completely stymied him. 18 rushes for 53 yards. You loaded up the line of scrimmage and said, we're not letting that guy beat us. We're going to make Bryce Underwood throw the ball. And you stopped Rico Dowdle, and Bryce wasn't able to beat you throwing the football. You came up with an interception. You came up with a fumble recovery in the red zone after one of the most bogus bonker plays you'll ever see. When the Saints block a field goal that goes forward, you touch it, it's muffed, they recover, and then ultimately they would fumble on that drive. But the defense came up with a stop on 4th and 1. Remember, they threw short. Granderson came up with the hit. The defense was awesome. A defense that has been much maligned, hasn't stopped the run, not very good in the back end. And this was a game where they played outstanding. Now, it wasn't flawless. You had a snap infraction that cost you an opportunity to field goal at the end of the first half. When they punted and downed the ball at the 2-yard line, a terrible job by Dante Pettis not fielding that. Also didn't field the opening kickoff of the game, which cost you field position. But Shough was nearly sacked for a safety. Heads-up play by Shough to get rid of the football. Taysom had a drop. I mentioned the muff after the block field goal. Come on, Leon, get away from the football. What are you doing? Know the rules of the game. You passed on 2 field goals. One was in the 4th quarter in a 10-7 ball game. So you're up 3 points. It's a 10-7 ball game. You pass on a field goal and go for it on a 4th and 4. Tyler Shough gets sacked. So again, I'll say it wasn't flawless. Like, I'm not coming out of this game going, man, they're going on a run, contenders. No. Flawed football team. Very flawed football team. But your defense played well enough to win on the road. And Tyler Shough, my goodness, what an outing. Yes, they only scored 17 points. And by the way, after the opening drive, which was disappointing that you had a goal-to-go situation and settled for a 20-yard field goal. I mean, you ran the ball, then you ran the cockamamie play with Taysom that went nowhere because everybody knew it was coming, then he had a throwaway. So you end up kicking a 20-yard field goal. By the way, Kellen Moore loves points. That 3 points held up for the duration of the game until Juwan's touchdown late. Score points. After that, you went 3 and out where you nearly had a safety. Then you had the Olave touchdown. Then you punted. You punted at the end of the half. That was the snap infraction. You punted on your first drive of the second half. You passed on a field goal. Got stuffed on the 4th and 4 there, or got sacked on the 4th and 4. So you had a lot of not good mixed in. But it's less about that at this point and more about, did you see enough from Shough to think you can win with that guy and win because of that guy? First rookie to win a start, first rookie quarterback to win a start for the Saints since 1981 with Dave Wilson. Shough was 19 of 27 for 282, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, protected the football. Remember, when we talked about Rattler, early in the season, my contention was you weren't losing because of Spencer Rattler. He was protecting the football, he was playing with the offense, but he wasn't elevating you. So he wasn't getting you over the hump. When Rattler started turning the ball over was when it became problematic. Shough not only protected the football, but he elevated you. How about the 52-yarder to Juwan Johnson? Tyler Shough on that play avoided probably 3 different defenders that could have sacked him, found the outlet to Juwan, who got upfield for 52 yards. Amazing. I didn't know he had that kind of mobility in the pocket. Kept his head downfield. Awesome. How about the accuracy on the deep ball? 61 yards to Chris Olave for the touchdown. How about the second half when you had a 3rd and 17, the ball he threw to Devon Vele? Now, Vele stopped short of the sticks. That's Vele's fault. But it was a 15-yard completion. They showed the end zone view if you're watching the game, and he just darted it between 2 defenders. Showed the arm strength, the awareness right there, a little bit of maybe arm arrogance to make that throw, but you love that. How about at the end of the game, the sideline route to Chris Olave that, eureka, Olave made a one-handed catch. Stunning that a guy that was a first-round pick could actually make a tough catch. But credit Olave, he made it. How about Shough putting the ball on him right there? Yeah. There was a lot that Shough did that didn't just function within the offense, manage the game. He elevated this team. And that was really exciting to see. Now, listen, there was a lot offensively that was good. Look, Alvin Kamara had a great day, 83 yards rushing, 32 yards receiving. So Kamara went over 100 yards of total offense, which was great to see. I mentioned Olave had the big day. Love the fact that 8 different players caught a pass. 3 different tight ends got involved. Juwan Johnson, Foster Moreau, and Zaire Mitchell Payton all had receptions in this ballgame. I forgot that Zaire Mitchell Payton was even on the team, to be honest. He had the catch. I'm like, pulling out the roster. I'm like, oh, God, he was 84. But it goes to show the ability to go through progressions. I mean, all of those are things that you're looking for in the game, regardless of the result, that show you, yeah, man, like this guy is elevating. His first start on the road against the Rams was a really tough ask. Like, did you see the Rams on Sunday against the Niners? I mean, in a blink, they were up 3 touchdowns in San Francisco. The Rams might be the best team in the NFC. I mean, one of the best teams in the NFL. I mean, Stafford right now is the betting favorite to win the MVP. So, against that defensive front, down a couple of offensive linemen, really tough ask. Excuse me. Sorry. Got a frog in my throat. Really tough ask for Shough in his first start on the road against that Rams team. So now you go on the road to Carolina, more manageable, plays much better. Is it because the competition was less, or the learning curve, like the growth chart ascends, gets better from start 1 to start 2? Probably a little bit of both. And now you have your bye before you welcome in the Falcons. The Falcons just lost in Berlin on Sunday. It's a bad Atlanta team that you have certainly another chance to get a win at home against a bad Falcons team. Oh, by the way, he also did this after you traded your best weapon in Rashid Shaheed, and you traded Trevor Penning. Not that Penning was any great shakes, but he was still one of your starters. And you were without Taliese Fuaga. So Asim Richards was starting at right tackle. So the offensive line in front of Tyler Shough in this road game was a rookie left tackle, Dylan Radens at left guard, Luke Fortner at center, Caesar Salad at right guard, and Asim Richards at right tackle. We talked so much about all they invested in the offensive line, where you had 4 first-round picks and a second-round pick in McCoy. You had none of that. I mean, you had Caesar Salad and a rookie left tackle out there. I mean, what? The fact that Shough was able to do that, considering the supporting cast, on the road in his second career start, making the plays he did in the face of pressure, getting 8 different pass catchers involved. Yeah, man. I'm not here to ordain Tyler Shough the Saints franchise quarterback. What I will say after that start is we saw enough to say he could be. He could be the guy. And over the next 8 games, man, am I interested in seeing, over the next 7 games, I'm interested in seeing how much better he might be able to get. Because if he continues on this trajectory, we're no longer talking about using your first-round pick in April on a franchise quarterback. You're talking about using it on a cornerstone piece to support Tyler Shough. And oh, by the way, if you hit on Tyler Shough, again, this hypothetical, if Derek Carr's retirement wiped away a giant chunk of your salary cap issues. So if you have a rookie quarterback or starting quarterback on a rookie deal, you've, because of Carr's retirement, fixed a bunch of your cap hell issues. Maybe you can go be competitive in free agency to attract guys to come play with Tyler Shough. And my goodness, if you just don't waste your draft capital, you might be able to build a talented roster around your guy. It's a lot of ifs, a ton of ifs. I'm not trying to overreact to one win. But we all know this as objective fact. You cannot win or compete for anything of substance in the NFL if you don't have an elite-level starting quarterback. I'm not saying we know the Saints have that. I'm saying at kickoff Sunday, they didn't. We knew they didn't. Now we can say, they might. It's a good place to be. Saints beat the Panthers 17-7. They go into their bye. They'll welcome in Atlanta a week from Sunday. All right, we're brought to you by Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Rouse's.com. Rouse's.com. Y'all, we're moving toward the holidays. Thanksgiving, just a couple of weeks away, man. Hard to believe. But Thanksgiving will be here before you know it, 2 weeks from Thursday. Planning Thanksgiving dinner with all of your family coming by. Or if you're maybe going to a Thanksgiving dinner somewhere, you need to bring something, Rouse's can help you out with anything for your Thanksgiving dinner. Rouse's.com is the website. You can get all of the dealer specials. Their weekly ad is there. You can download the Rouse's app. Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com. Beers, wines, bourbons, whatever you need for your bar. They got it. Of course, they've been helping people do their grocery shopping for 65 years. Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com. Rouse's. This feels like home. All right, y'all, it's After Further Review. Thanks for hanging out with us here on this Monday edition of AFR presented by Relief Windows. We'll go around the SEC. A few more potential coaching targets have let their feelings be known as to whether or not they're interested in the coaching carousel cycle. We'll get to what we learned from the football weekend. Peter Burns in 26 minutes. Glad you're hanging out here on a Monday edition of AFR.
AFR.
GLO, glowresources.com. They are complete employer solutions over at Glow Resources. GLO, glowresources.com. glowresources.com. I want you to go to that website right now. If you're a business owner, if you're a hiring manager, an operations manager, an HR manager, if you're the person in your organization responsible for hiring, for finding the right people to make your organization the most efficient, check out glowresources.com. Glow Resources will help you find the right people for whatever job you have available to make your business the most efficient possible. They rate themselves, by the way, their success or failure on how long the employee they pick for your job stays. And they have a 96% success rate. 96%. As a matter of fact, if it doesn't work, they'll give you a prorated refund or they'll find a new employee for free. Find your way to being more efficient. GLO, glowresources.com.
Raising Cane's is our victory meal.
Football fans are some of the most dedicated fans in sports. It's a fundamental quality we share, and that fuels every single order of our hand-battered chicken fingers. Wherever there's football, there's Raising Cane's.
One love. Let's go.
At Buyout Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Buyout Ford and Buyout Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Buyout Automotive is going to do right by you.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
Lockmeyer to Sean Fagan and Associates has won for our clients over $175 million over the decades, but our greatest success is our clients who have chosen and trusted us to help them. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call. You've got nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan. If you get injured, you could be staring at medical bills, repair costs, and lost income. Life can be turned upside down. At Lockmeyer to Sean Fagan and Associates, we'll work to turn your world right side up. Hire us, and like thousands of our clients, you'll be glad you did.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs, set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free, confidential help now.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home, with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
The coaching carousel is still spinning, and we often mention that whenever someone who is mentioned, a name is mentioned, is asked about it and gives a reaction, we'll play it for you here. We've already let you hear from John Sumrall, some of the other coaches that have been out there. Drinkwitz has certainly been asked about his future. Brent Key from Georgia Tech. Not all of these are necessarily connected to LSU, but in the coaching carousel. Kenny Dillingham's another out at Arizona State who's done a great job. He's at his alma mater. He's a young guy who's in his early 30s. And obviously led Arizona State to the playoff a year ago. A little bit of a disappointing start to this year, but since nobody seems to want to win the Big 12 or the ACC, I guess things are still pretty wide open. But Dillingham, courtesy of Arizona Sports, had this to say. There was a report that he told his team he's not going anywhere. Here was what Dillingham said.
I mean, this is, like I said, I've said this from the beginning. My next door neighbor is my sister. My parents live 3 doors down. You know, my wife's parents live 5 doors down. My wife's as competitive of a person as you'll ever see. She's a person who wants to win national championships. She's a person who wants to win. Like, she's competitive and she loves ball. I mean, we flew and just watched late last night and just watched, Bo Nix play in Denver, and then flew back so I could get back on the road recruiting. And so she's a person she's super competitive, and she wants to be able to compete and win national championships, win conference championships, just be in a position to win. So, but having the family support here, and it's a really cool thing.
I don't know why he talked so much about his wife wanting to win. Maybe what he's getting at there is that he feels like they can win there, but also maybe a bit of a denial anyway. They're 6-3 overall. They're 4-2 in the Big 12, but they're just one game out of first place. Texas Tech at 6-1, and BYU, Cincinnati, each at 5-1. So lurking there for Arizona State, but one worth mentioning there. We'll keep an eye on all these names. Listen, I'll continue to say that I think it's pretty obvious to me with a lot of the conversations that I've had around the LSU search in the last 2 weeks that LSU's number one target would be Lane Kiffin. Doesn't mean Lane Kiffin wants the job, would take the job, they close a deal. Doesn't mean any of that. I'd say it's their number one target. The real question, I think, becomes if you can't get a deal done with Kiffin, where do you go next? Like, for all the talk about Eli Drinkwitz, he makes $9 million a year at Missouri. Do you really want to pay Eli Drinkwitz $11 million a year to come be the LSU coach? I don't. Dude with he's done well at Missouri, but a massively inflated record because they load up with 4 garbage non-conference games, goes 5-3 in the league, loses to all the good teams, then wins a bowl game against a bunch of opt-outs. Okay, you won 10 games. What did you actually accomplish? Like, that isn't going to play here. So that's the giant question for me, is if you get past, if Kiffin is your number one target, you don't land him, what is the next target? Is it Dillingham, Clark Lee, Brent Key, that tier of Power 4 head coaches from that second, third level of Power 4 that you might give the elevation to? Or do you go John Summerall? Do you go Kelvin Shepard? Do you elevate Frank Wilson? Like those, Joe Brady from the NFL. Those are the questions I think that are most fascinating if you get past your first target. Plenty of time to discuss that. We'll go around the SEC in just a second. Brought to you by Parish Restoration, parishrestoration.com. Kill mold, remove odor, parishrestoration.com, parishrestoration.com. Patented non-toxic dry fog. Y'all, we're getting into cold and flu season. If you got cold or flu bug or COVID or something like that going through your office and you want to sanitize, Parish Restoration can help with that. They'll come in, they'll spray. It's patented non-toxic dry fog. So non-toxic means it's safe for people, plants, pets, all that stuff. They'll spray, close up all the windows, doors, let it dwell, kills everything down to the spores. As soon as the fog dissipates, boom, you're back in free, clear, clean, sanitized, clean smelling as well. Parish Restoration. Go to parishrestoration.com, parishrestoration.com. Okay, do it every day about this time. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, bringing you the biggest news from the nation's best conference, the Florida Gators.
Wide receiver Eugene Wilson done for the year with an ankle injury suffered in the loss to Georgia. Billy Gonzalez confirmed that on Monday. He'll undergo tightrope surgery to treat the injury. Should be back in time for Florida's spring football this upcoming offseason. Wilson was preseason All-SEC third team, 27 catches for 239 and 3 scores on the year.
The Alabama Crimson Tide.
Alabama's starting left guard Cam Dewberry is expected to be able to play this weekend against Oklahoma after sustaining an ankle injury over the weekend against LSU. He's a senior, got dinged up in the second quarter, went to the locker room, did not return. William Sanders and Geno Vandemark rotated at left guard for the remainder of the game. He's a Texas A&M transfer. He started all but one game this year for Bama.
The Georgia Bulldogs.
Kirby Smart gave an update on injured Georgia tight end Lawson Lucky. Said Lawson's doing well. Think he's going to make a good, quick turn, but we'll see. Lucky took a big hit from Mississippi State defender just before the 2-minute timeout for halftime. Drew a targeting penalty. He was helped off the field, but sounds like he could be good to go. Lucky's got 10 catches for 81 yards and 3 touchdowns for the Bulldogs.
The Texas Longhorns.
And Steve Sarkisian gave an update on a trio of injured players. Michael Taft with the injured thumb, Jelani McDonald with a concussion, and wide receiver Ronnie Wingo with a thumb injury as well. Texas heads to Georgia this weekend. All those guys practiced on Monday. All 3 should be good to go, according to Sark. Longhorns have been without Taft since the Kentucky game. McDonald and Wingo were injured against Vanderbilt back 2 weeks ago, missing the win over the Commodores. All right, there you have it. That is around the SEC. We're glad to have you hanging out with us here. Monday shows are brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Windows door siding. Oh, yeah. They do shutters, too. Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Okay, quick break. We'll come back, wrap up hour number 1. Every Thursday, Muse, Paulie, and I tell you 3 things to keep an eye on during your football weekend. We call it What to Watch. We come back on Monday, recap how it went. We call it What We Learned. We'll do that next on AFR.
AFR.
Oh, fall is here. My goodness, woke up today with temps in the upper 30s or low 40s. I guess depends where you live. But fall is here, and our friends over at Clegg's Nursery are ready. All of the fall plants and flowers and trees are ready to roll, and there is no better time actually to plant a tree than right now. Sure, those trees love this cooler weather. This is the time to get trees and shrubs in the ground. Maybe you want privacy shrubs to separate your property from a neighbor. Great time to plant them right now. Nobody has a better selection than Clegg's. Any of the 4 locations. Siegen near Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, and then the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. That's the one Terrio raves about all the time that calls like a plant wonderland. It kind of is. I mean, it goes on forever. If you don't know, it's on Greenwell Springs, right as you're either heading into Central on the left, or if you're heading out of Central toward downtown on the right. Either way, get on by. Buy local, shop local. Tell them Matt sent you to Clegg's Nursery.
In South Louisiana, you can always count on good people coming together to help our children.
At Dreams Come True, we grant wishes for Louisiana children with life-threatening illnesses. But to do this, we need funds.
That's why we're trying to raise $100,000 for Dreams Come True by giving away the Blessed Children's School.
Make your backyard's dream come true while helping our kids.
Just go to dreampoolla.com and you can find out how your $25 donation might help win you a Duplessis pool.
Parrish Construction and Roofing.
This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parrishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs.
From your hometown, parrishbuilt.com.
My father, J.B. Faugu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Faugu.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
Baton Rouge's home for real rock. It's Eagle 98.1. Foo Fighters. Led Zeppelin. AC/DC. Pearl Jam. And the flagship home for LSU sports. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. Eagle 98.1 is the rock station.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. We are honored and humbled to receive from our clients in Google. Based on 5-star client reviews, the designation of our law firm is highly recommended. Whether you hire us at all, please give us a call, 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. Injuries happen when you least expect them to, making your life more complicated. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding. And oh, we do shutters too.
Wrapping up hour number 1. We'll get to what we learned in just a quick second. Joey McGuire and Texas Tech had a big win over the weekend at home against BYU. Game day was there, all that stuff. A game that was never in doubt. Actually, that's one of the things on my what to watch and what we learned. We'll get to in just a second. But afterwards, Joey McGuire, in complimenting BYU, actually took a pretty significant shot at Notre Dame. Give a listen.
I have so much respect for BYU. I do, man. They're I was really excited whenever they joined the Big 12 because I think that they carry a lot of weight and a lot of respect. I think that I have a lot of respect for them entering a conference and not playing an independent schedule like other people. Y'all already know who that is. And so I have a lot of respect for that. I mean, they're earning their right just like everybody but a couple of people in the nation are earning their right through conference play, and playing in some really tough places.
He ain't wrong, but you look at Notre Dame, and they started 0-2 this year. It's just like a year ago when they lost to, was it North Texas? Who did they lose to?
Northern Illinois.
Northern Illinois. It was a directional school. They lose at Miami, then lose at home to A&M. Notre Dame, the rest of the season, after their first 2 losses, one ranked opponent. Southern Cal that they beat 34-24. That's it. So let me rephrase, actually. Pitt is now ranked. So they will play Pitt this Saturday. Pitt is now ranked, and they'll play it on the road. But, yeah, I mean, he's not wrong. So Notre Dame kind of gets to skate, not playing a conference schedule. They do load up with power opponents. I mean, the only non-Power 4 opponents on their schedule are Boise State and Navy. So everyone else is in a power league. But I understand not having to go the route through a conference that everyone else does. And they're going to just sort of slither right into the college football playoff unless they stub their toe this weekend at Pitt. They play Pitt, then they play Syracuse, and then they're at Stanford. So he's not wrong, but Notre Dame brings eyeballs. Everybody wants to make money. That's sort of the lot in life. But it's also why I want an expanded playoff. So Notre Dame can be in, and they could be a lower seed or whatever the case may be, and you don't have these same conversations. So I'm looking forward to a 14 or 16 team playoff, whatever we get to. We get to the day where we have 32. I'll be pumped about that as well. Yes, a real true playoff is a good thing, as I've said for many, many, many years. We're getting there, slowly but surely. Okay, every Thursday, Muse, Paul, and I tell you 3 things to watch. We come back, tell you what we learned. Hit it, Muse.
We watched. Now, let's review.
There it is.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
Oregon got their win, man. Their best win of the season so far in a just miserable place in Iowa City, 43 degrees and raining. Overcame a fourth quarter deficit, scored really when they had to, and got it done. That game was 2-0 at the end of the first quarter. Just electric stuff.
I was watching A&M in Missouri. The Aggies defeat the Tigers 38-17. Marcel Reed had 221 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. Texas A&M made it a forgettable game for Missouri quarterback Matt Zollers. He had 77 yards passing. Aggies continue their best start since '92, their 3rd consecutive win over Missouri.
I said I wasn't going to put my hand on the stove anymore betting against BYU.
Oh, no.
I should have put my hand on the stove again. BYU was never in this game. Texas Tech led 26-0 into the fourth quarter before BYU finally scored. Big statement for the Red Raiders, 9-1, 6-1 in the Big 12.
But Auburn almost got an interim bump and carried them to a victory. They played really well, 38 points. Ashton Daniels and Diego Pavia were incredible. Both over 440 yards of offense, both with 4 total touchdowns. A 28-point second half, though, for Vanderbilt, and then overtime was the difference in a come-from-behind victory.
I was watching the Jets and the Browns. Jets after the trade deadline, they traded away Sauce Gardner, Quinton Williams. seeing if they could quote-unquote screw it up, which they did. They beat the Browns. So with that win, the Titans are now the worst team in the league. The Jets, Browns, Saints, Raiders, and Giants all have 2 losses.
Let's keep an eye on Jacksonville. At 5-3, said, look, they got a shot to play Houston without C.J. Stroud and an opportunity to maybe gain a little ground, and they led 17-0 and subsequently gagged it away and lose 36-29. Jacksonville now 5-4 on the season. Yikes.
Steelers, Chargers. This game was terrible. Aaron Rodgers is washed, but the AFC, yes, he's washed.
He's
AFC North gets a little tighter, and the Chargers get a game they needed.
Patriots beat the Bucs. They're tied for the best record in the league with the Broncos and Colts. They've won 7 straight. Patriots quarterback Drake May listed among the MVP.
Heisman. Okay. Maybe Drake May gets the Heisman? Told you on Thursday, Baltimore, despite having a losing record at 3-5, had a 56% chance of winning the division. Another opportunity going to Minnesota. No problem. 27-19. Turns out Lamar Jackson's good at football. All right, that's what we learned this weekend in the football world. All right, grabbing a break. Peter Burns coming up right after SportsCenter. Thanks for hanging out with us here on this Monday edition of AFR presented by Relief Windows. Hour 2 next.
AFR.
If you're in the market for a new vehicle, remember South Point Volkswagen. Matt, I only buy American. I don't blame you. I love America just like you do. I bleed red, white, and blue. Not really. I bleed red. But in a literal sense. But at South Point Volkswagen, those Volkswagens are manufactured right here in the US of A at their Chattanooga, Tennessee plant. So you get the best of both worlds. You get the great German engineering, the great safety features, the IIHS top safety picks, the style, feel, performance of luxury without the cost, and you're supporting American jobs because they're manufactured in Chattanooga, Tennessee. What are you waiting on? If you've never test-driven a Volkswagen, what are you waiting on? You will be blown away just like I was. Never driven a Volkswagen in my life, but 15 years ago, started endorsing South Point. I said, before I endorse you, I want to drive every single model that you have. Fell in love with the brand. That's all Eric and I drive now. SouthPointVW.com. South Point Volkswagen.
Trust isn't given. It's earned by showing up, leading the way, and performing at your best when it matters most. Our Lady of the Lake sports medicine experts know what it takes to improve performance and build champions at every level. That's why LSU chose Our Lady of the Lake as its championship health partner, trusting Louisiana's best medical team to care for our state's best athletes. From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
I trust the lake.
When you can't rely on technology, you can rely on Mountain Cold Refreshment. Dave's back on. Coors Light. Choose chill.
Raising Cane's is our victory meal.
Football fans are some of the most dedicated fans in sports. It's a fundamental quality we share, and that fuels every single order of our hand-battered chicken fingers. Wherever there's football, there's Raising Cane's.
One love. Let's go.
Supreme Jasmine is premium American-grown rice. From local farms to your table, every grain is supreme. Pick up a bag of Jasmine or any other of our Supreme American rice.
It's not just a game, it's a religion. You've got your team colors, team swag, and now your very own website. LouisianaSports.net. Everything LSU, Saints, and Pelicans. Sports on demand. In-depth coverage by sports writing pros with continuously updated news. And with the LouisianaSports.net newsletter, you get pinged directly with top trending stories. Best of all, now and always. No paywall. It's free. LouisianaSports.net. Powered by 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Your home for Louisiana sports.
In South Louisiana, you can always count on good people coming together to help our children.
At Dreams Come True, we grant wishes for Louisiana children with life-threatening illnesses. But to do this, we need funds.
That's why we're trying to raise $100,000 for Dreams Come True by giving away the Blessed Builders School.
Make your backyard's dream come true while helping our kids.
Just go to dreampoolla.com and you can find out how your $25 donation might help win you a Duplessis pool.
Every winner knows a great play starts with a solid game plan and the right team by your side. At Sunshine, we're here to keep your operation running strong. From tractors to harvesters, we've got the John Deere equipment you need to tackle every job with confidence. Because when the work's done right, there's more time for the things that matter, like cheering on your favorite team. Make Sunshine quality.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. A coaching change made by the Giants off to a 2-8 start the third straight year. They've fired head coach Brian Dable. Assistant head coach and offensive coordinator Mike Kafka is the interim coach. Joe Shane remains the GM and will lead the search for a new coach. And there will be plenty of interest in that job, partly because of Jackson Dart, explains ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter.
Whoever coaches this team, Matt, will be taking over a very attractive roster. It has a young quarterback, though he has obviously had issues this year staying on the football field and with concussion protocols. They've got Malik Neighbors, Cam Scatterbo. There is a lot of talent on this roster.
Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow returned to practice today in a limited capacity, and the 21-day window to come off injured reserve has been opened. Burrow's been out recovering from surgery to repair a turf toe injury. Guardians pitcher Luis Ortiz appeared in federal court today on charges accusing him and teammate Emmanuel Clase of taking bribes to help associates in their native Dominican Republic win prop bets placed on pitches they threw. Ortiz's bond set at $500,000.
Hey, Peter, can you hear me? Yeah, man, you sound great. Hold tight. Hold tight. Yep.
Weekday mornings at 6, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's rock!
Hour 2. Off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Relief Windows. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
And Mr. Toby Tomplake. All right. We're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there, make it a good one. Every Monday, we visit with Peter Burns of the SEC Network. Hit abuse.
This week in the SEC with Peter Burns.
Unsportsmanlike conduct.
Let's separate the contenders from the pretenders.
Number 11 of the defense, throwing the LSU player's shoe 20 yards down the field.
With Peter Burns of the SEC Network, presented by Blue Delta Jeans.
Peter, man, what up?
You know, it just hit me today was the first time I realized at the start of each hour of your show, the guy singing is saying after further review.
Yeah.
Like, I'm embarrassed it's taken me this long. I thought it was just some old rock song. And then I actually listened to the lyrics today and paid attention. I was like, that makes sense. Okay.
After further review with Matt Moscona. Yeah. That's who I refer to as Mr. Toby Tomplay, and then Muse cranks it up because that's Toby Tomplay singing. He's the king of the earworm. By the way, PB, you ever need a jingle done? Something just lodge itself in someone's brain? Toby Tomplay, he's the guy.
Okay, well then I need to hire him because it was like the saddest day ever when me and Doring were looking at each other at 8 a.m. to start SEC this morning and be like, whose team feels worse about where they're at right now? Was it LSU or Florida? And we're like, it was like the Spider-Man meme like pointed at each other. I was like, just, you know, a couple of weeks ago he was dressed up like a pumpkin and life was good. And then life came at us fast.
It has to be LSU because LSU had expectation this year. Florida did not. Is that fair?
Yeah, I disagree with a little bit because there was expectation of being fairly decent. Like, hey, the hope, the unknown of DJ Lagway, and hey, did Billy figure it out? And obviously he didn't. So I can see that, especially after the Clemson win. You're like, all right, here we go, we're rolling. And after the Florida win, you're like, all right, we're fine. Even after the Ole Miss game, you're like, we could have gotten that. And then the wheels just, absolutely fell off. But 38-7, the bludgeoning that was, and when Mark Stoops has to basically claim Florida football on his tax receipt now. They have owned 4 of the last 5 years, and that used to be the most one-sided thing in football.
Well done. That's really well done. Okay, let's just get this out of the way. LSU, Bama. Okay, speak your piece. Whatever you want to say.
Blake Baker's got to stay in Baton Rouge. That's the one thing that you build around right now. I thought defensively they gave everything that they could. They do. The fact that you kept, I think, a Heisman Trophy candidate, if not the winner, in that offense to just 20 points, despite gifting them good field position and holding them to 50 yards rushing, that was a damn strong thing, especially without Whit Weeks. And outside of that, I don't know what else to say. Offensively, it just maybe want to throw up a little in my mouth once again.
I know. It was there. It was there for the taking. You're just a really bad offensive team. It's what it is. Hey, okay. I want to ask you about two coaches. I want to ask you about Lane Kiffin because I just saw this come into my inbox that Lane Kiffin is actually the odds-on favorite to be the next head coach of the New York Football Giants. This story, by the way, is up at louisianasports.net if you'd like to read it for free. But this would obviously be a reunion with Jackson Dart. So
Dart.
You know Lane. Do you think the NFL is something that could be in his future?
I think there was definitely the bromance there, and that was the first thing I thought when I saw that Brian Daboll had gotten let go. And then the next thing I did after I saw Brian Daboll got let go, and I go, wonder how much they were paying Brian Daboll in New York City or outside of New York City because it's not actually there to be the head coach of the Giants. And I saw it was $5 million a year, and I'm like, well, if he makes 9 now, probably going to get close to 12 to 14 with no matter what. Are you willing to give up? Let's say they pay him on the higher level, which I don't know if the Amaro family would. You willing to take a half of your salary and a pay cut to go to the NFL? I'm not quite sure if I buy that. Now, it's another negotiating tool that I'm sure he'll be able to use towards Ole Miss or wherever he decides to go. But I think Lane loves the college world and the trolling of that. To say that he's going to take $6 million less a year to go coach in the NFL, I'm not sure if I buy that.
Okay. I don't know what Lane Kiffin's druthers
Do you?
are. I have no idea.
Because he was good today. I hosted that show SEC Now Open Mic, and we took his answer on his press conference today. They're like, "Hey, obviously Florida, Ole Miss, what makes a good job?" And I thought he was I thought it was a very open and honest answer, Matt, when he was like, hey, it used to be about facilities and being a blue blood. And he goes, now it's what's your NIL? How much money do you have? And he goes, go look at, basically he was talking about the Dodgers and even the NBA, when you pay the salary cap or when you don't have a salary cap, you get the best players. And he's like, this thing changes week to week and year to year. So I did think it was interesting that he had an opportunity to commit to Ole Miss and he didn't. But the longer I started thinking about it, going, well, that's just bad negotiating. Just you keep it open. There's no reason to really get involved in it until right around the transfer portal opening in December. And hopefully, if you're a Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss, you're still in the college football playoff at that time.
I think either way, Jimmy Sexton is going to make Lane Kiffin the highest paid coach in the country, wherever he goes. If it's at Ole Miss, if it's LSU, Florida, the Giants, he's going to make $14-15 million a year wherever it is next year.
And that's built on hype because the substance is Kirby Smart should be making that money, but that's also the hype of what Lane has. That's why I'm so curious to see how this thing plays out. And I think Lane's done a great job, and he's in the media and whatnot. Let's not forget the fact that he went 9-3 with arguably the most talented roster in college football last year. So I want to tap the brakes on, expectations. And he talked about it today. You can go from penthouse to the outhouse real damn quick. And of course, we know that here in the 225.
Yes. By the way, that point about Kiffin's roster last year, we made a lot here, PB, because actually comparable to what LSU did this year. Like, you went and invested the money, you have all the pros on your roster, and you came up short. So, yes, I don't disagree with you. Peter Burns with us, courtesy of Blue Delta Jeans, BlueDeltaJeans.com. All right, the other coach I want to ask you about is Eli Drinkwitz, because that's another guy here who's gotten a lot of run and mentioned as a possibility, but he's 0-6 the last 2 seasons against ranked teams in the SEC. If this AI search is correct, he's 1-10 against top 10 teams, 7-17 at Missouri against ranked teams. Like, how good of a coach really is Eli Drinkwitz?
I think he's good. I mean, I think, and the reason why I say that is not just because of what the record, but when I talk to coaches in the mix, right, guys that I know that have been there, that know a lot more inside the football facilities around college football and not just the SEC, and I kind of, take a look under the hood and go, hey, what's the story here? And I always ask that story. What's the story? Because I kind of want to hear it and not bias the question, like, how good of a coach is this guy or whatnot? Like, I just want to see what they say. And top to bottom, I always get like the same feeling in people answering it, that this guy is criminally underrated as a coach. And then so I go, okay, well, if he's criminally underrated, how is he 0-6, right? And then the idea is the same thing that we talked about with Brian Kelly. Well, if you got him the athletes, what can you do? The difference is I think Brian Kelly was at the end of that career and the passion was not there, and it was more of a pet project and a parachute deal than a guy that still has hunger and wants to poke the bear. And I think that's what you get with Drink. And if Drink did decide that he was going to leave Missouri to keep him with Blake Baker going back to full circle, that's a good 1-2 punch that I think is as good as anything that you're going to find out there.
If you were LSU, would you pay Drink makes $9 million at Missouri? Would you pay him $11 million to be the LSU coach?
I mean, I think that you're getting to a point now where if it's $11 million for 3 years or something, 4 years, like, I think we're going to get to a point where we start paying these coaches more money up front, which is crazy to think, but less money on the back end and less longer deals. Right, like Ross Dellinger had a great tweet about it. And he was talking to somebody, I believe, that was about like in the entertainment industry, and they said, "Listen, like, why not pay more money up front? And there's less of a, hey, if it just didn't work out, it didn't work out, right? And instead of being saddled by these things, and in the past, you used to need 4 or 5 years for a recruiting cycle.
Yeah.
Well, Kurt Cignetti didn't need that.
Great point.
Clark Lee didn't need that. They're college football playoff potential teams, like." If you can't show where you're at by year 3, I don't know if it ever is going to turn that way.
Great point. It may be harder to lure a coach away from a spot where they are presently, but it is true. Like, you no longer need the 4 or 5 year commitment to recruit because players aren't going to be there 4 or 5 years anyway. Overall,
I mean, that's 30. Like, you say $12 million, you're like, oh God, I want to puke when I hear that. But I'm like, all right, if it's a $36 million deal, over 3 years, well, then you're not going to, if you're willing to renegotiate that and give them a contract extension, that means things are going probably pretty well. And $12 million is probably the going rate. I just don't know how many people are going to sit there and go, all right, I'll take the deal for $4 million a year and incentive based. LSU could be one of those blue bloods. I just don't know if that's the case.
All right. Who's going to win the SEC?
I mean, listen, it pains me as a guy that disliked A&M growing up for what they did to us in the early 90s. I think they're legit. I've been saying that on this show and on my show for a long, long time. Like, Mike Elko reminds me of Teddy Roosevelt. Like, he's going to come out there and he's going to, club you and not give a damn. And I mean, that fake punt when they were up 21-7 was just, diabolical. It was just like, it was wild, and I can't bet on anybody. Other than that, Georgia still got the DNA. I think I would be more afraid of Georgia right now than I am A&M or Alabama rather. I don't think Alabama can run the ball, and Georgia's starting to kind of get that little look. I don't think they're Ohio State 2024, but they're getting bigger, better, and stronger each week, and they know how to win.
A guy dropping a Teddy Roosevelt reference. That's why you come here. You get Teddy Roosevelt.
Can't tell me he doesn't remind you of, like, Teddy Roosevelt didn't give 0 Fs. Like, he was just like, this is what we're going to do. We're going to tear it up. Like, he went to war once, basically. Like, if I'm not mistaken, back in the day, this goes back to when I was watching, like, all these Ken Burns documentary, just because he wanted to, like, ride with the Rough Riders. Like, he's like, screw it. We're going to create some type of thing because I want to lead troops into battle because I want to wear the uniform. Like, Mike Elko strikes me as that dude.
Real talk, I just need to brush up on my World War I history. I'm just not there. Right.
Battle of Verdun. Just go in the Battle of Verdun.
Yeah, I'm just rusty. I haven't been in a history class in 25 years, and I don't watch the History Channel. So I'm not saying you're wrong. It just wasn't a reference I was expecting, and I appreciate it. That's all.
Yeah, it's fair.
He's Peter Burns, at Peter Burns ESPN. Go follow him, and go to BlueDeltaJeans.com, BlueDeltaJeans.com. Thank you, dude.
See you, boys.
See you. Peter Burns. Speaking of coaches and money and all that, I want to talk about Brian Kelly's buyout when we come back, because apparently Brian Kelly passed on a couple of settlement offers, which, by the way, I told you the day after he was fired. We just now have definition to it. We're brought to you by Shaw Bills Tire and Auto Service, ShawBillsTire.com, ShawBillsTire.com, with locations all over South Louisiana. Find the location nearest you at ShawBillsTire.com, and they always have great deals. Always, always, always going to get you the best price on the best tire. Lowest price on the best tires. Like right now, through December the 9th, you can get $80 back when you buy a set of 4 select Michelin tires. You can also get free installation, which is a $118 value when you use your Shaw Bills credit card. So visit ShawBillsTire.com for details and to shop Michelin tires. ShawBillsTire.com. Shaw Bills, where we keep you rolling. Offers valid September 24th through December 9th. Void where prohibited. Subject to credit approval. ShawBillsTire.com. Shaw Bills, where we keep you rolling. Okay, quick break. When we're back, Brian Kelly passing on settlement offers. I'll give you the deets as to what happened and why and where they go from here. It's AFR.
AFR.
We're brought to you by the Watermark in the Renaissance. Watermark downtown, Renaissance Southtown. Tigers back at home this weekend, which means Tigers on Friday will be at Renaissance Baton Rouge. Of course, every Friday before the home football games, LSU, they get out of Dodge. They're not going to stay on campus. But they go move on in to Renaissance Baton Rouge because they have tons of space for all of their team meetings and the position group meetings. And they got tons of hotel rooms as well, guest rooms as well, for the entire team, coaching staff, support staff, all that sort of stuff. So you want to see the Tigers? You can see them Friday at Renaissance Baton Rouge. And when you have an event coming up, maybe in 2026 you're planning an event, think Renaissance Baton Rouge. Allison Crump, the event coordinator for both Renaissance and Watermark, she can help you out. And I love what she always says. We're in the business of saying yes. They'll manipulate their space to fit whatever size event you have. Right there on Blue Bonnet, it's Renaissance Baton Rouge. Renaissance Baton Rouge.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Parish Construction and Roofing.
This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs.
From your hometown, parishbuilt.com.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs. Set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free confidential help now.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith with Locke Meredith, Shaw & Fagan & Associates. We take great pride in educating our clients about their rights. Whether you're injured at work or while you drive, call our office at 272-5555. Knowledge is power, and you should know your rights after an injury.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan of Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates. When insurance companies have been unfair, we've never been afraid to go to trial. Fighting hard to protect your rights, we never settle a case out of convenience. We only settle when it's right for you. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Mornings with Brian Haldane is the only live and local talk show in the capital city. Get the news from the newsmakers, along with traffic and weather updates throughout the morning. The conversation starts weekday mornings at 6 on Talk 107.3.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs. Set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free confidential help now.
Flight by Yingling is raising the bar by crafting the next generation of light beer. With only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories, this
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
Big shout out as always to Brandon Holly, the great team over at Relief Windows. Woke up this morning, temps in the upper 30s. Better believe energy efficient replacement windows from Relief Windows will help keep your home climate controlled during the cold weather months. Get that free estimate today from Relief Windows and reliefwindows.com. There was a report today from the Advocate via Freedom of Information Records request that Brian Kelly rejected 2 settlement offers. Now, if you listen to the show, that should come as no surprise because we actually told you that the Monday after Brian Kelly was fired. What we know now via this Advocate report is the amount of those offers. So what I want to do is take a quick second here and kind of explain this process, because what a lot of people have asked is, well, why would Brian Kelly accept a settlement? And then what would that mean for the opportunity to hire a new coach and all that sort of stuff? So I'll dive into that a little bit. Let me kind of recount how that day went. And by the way, you've now heard from Verge Osbury on this show, Gordon McKernan on this show. Remember, Gordon told us last week he was at the meeting at the governor's mansion when they were discussing the buyout. The governor called a meeting where Gordon was there, Verge was there, Scott Ballard was there, and there were other people who I'm going to assume at this point want to remain anonymous, and that's fine. If a word comes out or they're willing to say that, that's okay. But what we've been able to decipher as the day has gone along, and then certainly Brian Kelly's email a week ago to Scott Woodward, Verge Osbury, Julie Cromer, and Austin Thomas, what that certainly revealed were 2 things. One, a very respectful tone. So the report of this contentious meeting was fabricated. I have no idea where that came from, because I feel like at this point I've spoken to all but one of the people that were in that meeting, and at least one of the people that I know were in that meeting. And they've all said the same thing, that it was very respectful. No, well, 2 people that were in that meeting. That it was respectful, it was not contentious, and so on. And that Kelly is open to a settlement of his buyout. So here's what we know from the Advocate. So the Advocate, via records request, found that the lump sum payment offered to Brian Kelly was $25 million, which Kelly rejected. And then Julie Cromer, LSU's executive deputy AD, increased that settlement offer to $30 million in 2 payments, which is what I was told, that it was a lump sum in 2 payments. So 15 and 15. And Brian Kelly rejected that as well. So that day went like this. Scott Scott Woodward called the meeting with Brian Kelly. We know as of now that meeting was the people who we just talked about. It was Scott Woodward, Burge Osbury, Austin Thomas, Julie Cromer, Brian Kelly. They advised Brian Kelly that he's being fired. 5-minute meeting, very cordial. Kelly leaves. Short time later, he sends that email that we read last week, where Kelly was asking, do you want me to come get my stuff? Do you want to have it sent to me? And he says, as we discussed, I'm open to a settlement of the contract that has to make sense financially. Okay. Short time after that, on that Sunday, Brian Kelly's agent, Trace Armstrong, gets involved, obviously, to negotiate this settlement. That's when the governor was made aware of the firing, the buyout, and then called the meeting at the governor's mansion that Gordon McKernan referred to. And that's what started the firestorm of all of the buyout talks with the governor and led to everything that happened last week. What's important to know about why Brian Kelly would accept a settlement. Remember, the best way to explain it is like if you win the Powerball, everyone takes the lump sum instead of the annuity. You take a lesser amount, but you get it all right now instead of annual payments for the rest of your life. Now, this wouldn't be for the rest of Brian Kelly's life. This would be over the remainder of the contract. So he can continue getting $800,000 over the remainder of his contract for 6 years, roughly $800K a month for the remaining 6 years, or he could take a lesser amount and get it all right now. But what that lesser amount is what they'd have to negotiate. So the advocate found this information that Kelly rejected $25 million lump sum and a $30 million lump sum in 2 payments. And I don't blame him. He's owed $54 million. Why would you take 25 or 30? Roughly half that number. So how much higher would they have to get for him to take a lesser amount? The reason that he would take a lesser amount, of course, is to get the lump sum, to not have to wait 6 years to get the totality of your money, but also remember there's mitigation in his contract. So if Brian Kelly gets another coaching job, his buyout is reduced by his new salary. And that's not only coaching, that's also media. So if he goes and gets a media job that pays him $1 million a year, I don't know if that would be accurate. I'm just throwing out a hypothetical, right? Well, now his buyout is reduced by that $1 million per year, right? So if you look at over the duration of that buyout period, his buyout number is reduced by that number. Would it be smarter to just take all of your money? And then what if he coaches again? What if he coaches and gets a $5 million a year contract or a $3.5 million a year contract? Well, now you're significantly cutting in to the buyout number. And so it might actually behoove you to take a settlement, because if you coach again and get paid more, then your buyout over the 6 years might end up being less than what that settlement is. So that's why you have to negotiate in these terms. He could just sit there and sit on the sidelines for 6 years, not work, and get paid $800K a month over the next 6 years by LSU. But if he wants to work again, whatever he makes, that $53 million will be reduced by that amount. So that's why it makes sense to agree to a settlement, because you could end up making less in the settlement, less not settling if you intend to work again than if you had gone and got another job. Like Ed Ogeron, for example, didn't work again. Ed has not worked since he got fired by LSU in 2021. So he now, this December, is the final payment that'll go to Ed on his $17 million buyout. So he sat and has gotten paid since he was fired. That's the big question that we don't know. Is Brian Kelly going to work again? Does he want to work again? If he does want to work again, be it coaching or television or whatever he may do, it may benefit him to take less. And from an LSU perspective, obviously, you'd rather Brian Kelly take less than the $54 million buyout, $54 million buyout that he's owed. You'd rather pay him less, even if it meant doing it up front in a lump sum, than continuing to pay him for 6 years and be on the books for the next 6 years. So that's kind of where it falls. Well, eventually they'll find some happy medium here. What Gordon told us last week, and if you missed that conversation, would highly recommend you go check it out. It's on podcast and YouTube everywhere. Just search AFR LSU podcast or YouTube, and you'll find the full interview with Gordon. But, what Gordon told us on the record, and what I've been told from other people who were in that meeting at the governor's mansion off the record, and the governor alluded to it as well, is that they were in no rush to get to a settlement with Brian Kelly. Like, they're willing to be patient. Kelly, if he wants to work again, is the one who might be in more of a rush. So if you're LSU and you're willing to be patient, keep paying him the $800K a month, then, and Kelly gets to a point where he wants to work again, it may benefit him then to just agree to a settlement, take a lump sum so he can go move on and coach again at whatever that contract number will be. That's what happened with Les Miles. Les was being paid his buyout monthly, and then ultimately he got the Kansas job, so they settled the remainder of his buyout, and then he went to work at Kansas. So in this coming coaching carousel here in November, December, if you want this to reach finality, then you want Brian Kelly to work again. You want him to get a job somewhere, because that will expedite the buyout of, or I guess the settlement of his buyout is a way to say it. I hope that makes sense. I don't know if I did a great job of explaining that, but suffice to say, LSU's in no hurry. They'd rather keep paying him $800K, banking on the fact that Kelly eventually will get a job which will mitigate that buyout, or force Kelly into negotiating a lesser number so that he could just go on and coach wherever the next place will be. So cheer for Brian Kelly to get another job is the long and the short of it. All right, it's After Further Review. We're glad you're hanging out with us here. Hey, I told you this last week we launched, and I'm excited about this. Me and my partners over at Parish Construction and Roofing, we've done some real fun marketing promotion ideas with with cash giveaways and stuff. But we thought around the holidays we were going to do something that was just not a marketing ploy. We just wanted to do something philanthropic and help maybe some families who were less fortunate have a better Christmas. And so we're calling it the 12 Days of Christmas. Creative, I know. But what we did was we at Parish decided we're gonna choose 12 families, and we're gonna give them each $1,000 to spend on their Christmas. And then we had 3 other great businesses join us. Our friends over at Duplessis Builders, Derek Duplessis and his team, awesome people. They matched our $1,000. So each family that wins is going to get $2,000. And then Ruckus stepped up and offered shoes for the families that we choose. So there are 12 families that the family's going to get new shoes, courtesy of Ruckus. And then Chris's Specialty Foods stepped up and said, well, look, we'll pitch in Christmas dinner. So every family that's chosen, we're going to choose 12. Each family is going to get $1,000 from Parish Construction and Roofing, $1,000 from Duplessis Builders, shoes from Ruckus, and Christmas dinner courtesy of Chris's Specialty Foods. If you know a family that maybe is struggling, maybe it's your family, that could use a little cheer and a little help this Christmas, we're excited to be able to help 12. We wish we could help 1,200, but we're going to help 12 families have a brighter Christmas. So it's easy to enter. Go to parishbuilt.com. At the top of the homepage, you'll see the tab where you can go enter, and you'll see all of the the regulations and all the sort of stuff. But bottom line is, we're excited to be able to help a dozen families in our area have a much happier Christmas, and we're excited to help. So please share that link if you know someone, or nominate a family that could maybe use a little help this Christmas. Parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. It's right there at the top of the homepage. All right. It's After Further Review. Let me knock out a break, y'all. We'll come back. Kellen Moore met with reporters here on Monday after the Saints get a road win in Carolina. How about Tyler Shough? What a debut. Talked about that last hour. If you want to get my thoughts on Shough, you can get it on demand. AFR on demand, either on podcast or on YouTube. We'll do that as we continue. And in 30 minutes, we'll talk about Frank Wilson's his comments about what LSU's plan moving forward at quarterback is going to be. We'll get to that again here at the top of hour number 3. We're glad you're with us on AFR.
After Further Review.
We're brought to you by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com, yourgoodwood.com. Hey, you want to feel your best, Goodwood can help. Maybe say, Matt, I don't have ED. Okay. But as we age, every one of us, our bodies produce less of the hormones that contribute to how we feel. Do you have great waking energy? Are you lethargic at the end of the day? Do you struggle to find the motivation to get in the gym? If you do get in the gym, do you get results? Do you burn fat? Do you build muscle like you did when you were in your 20s? Like, that's possible again. Great libido, that's possible again with hormone replacement therapy. A simple blood test lets you know if you're a candidate. It's totally affordable, safe, and if you're already on HRT, one of the reasons to switch to Goodwood, not only have the lowest prices, but they also pick up the expense of your blood labs every 6 months. They're awesome. So visit yourgoodwood.com to set up that consultation. yourgoodwood.com.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
Mornings with Brian Haldane is the only live and local talk show in the capital city. Get the news from the newsmakers, along with traffic and weather updates throughout the morning. The conversation starts weekday mornings at 6 on Talk 107.3.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief: our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. At Locke Meredith, Shawn Fagan & Associates, we know each case and client are unique, and that no two cases are the same. But one thing remains constant, and that is our passion to help our clients. After an accident, we know your life has changed, which is why we passionately fight to make you and your family whole. Remember, whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555. We're here to serve you.
Parish Construction and Roofing.
This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parishbuilt.com for all of your roofing.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
Hey, remember on Wednesday when we did our opposing media interview with our buddy Julian Council from Locked On Panthers? And one of the questions I always like to ask when we have a guest on that covers another team, I like to ask, like, what's the blueprint for that team to win? It just kind of gives you an idea of, from the perspective of someone who covers that team, who knows a lot about them, like what they think the path would be for that team to win the game. And I asked Julian Council what the Panthers' blueprint would be to beat the Saints. Remember what he said?
take care of your business. Just show up, honestly, if we looked at how New Orleans has played this season.
Just show up. I mean, I love my guy, all right? Known Julian a long time. Seen him at SEC Media Days for years. I mean, just show up in the NFL is never really a good option. I mean, I don't know if you know, but are the Miami Dolphins having a good season?
No, they're not.
Oh, really? They got Tua. And,
yeah.
The coach with that wears the jeggings.
Yeah, they do.
With the with that comes mid-calf.
Yeah, and you'd think that'd be
and
enough.
The glasses.
Yeah.
Young guy.
Yeah, Mike McDaniel.
Yeah, he has it.
Yeah, looks like he works in IT. Yeah.
Devon A-Chain from A&M.
Good running back, man.
Yeah.
Really good. Yeah.
They're no good?
No, they're 3-7.
Oh. Yeah. They're no good.
No good.
Yeah. Hey, are the Buffalo Bills having a good season?
Bills are pretty good, yeah.
Are they really?
Mm-hmm. Pretty good.
Remember when the Bills stunk?
Yes.
Yeah. But they're good now.
Good. Josh Allen, man, really kind of turned around. Sean McDermott. Yeah. Good franchise, good organization.
Didn't they play yesterday?
They played each other. Yeah, they did.
How did that go?
Miami won 30-13.
Oh. Oh, really?
Yeah.
So the really bad team beat the really good team?
Handedly, yeah.
So apparently Buffalo didn't show up?
Doesn't look like it.
If they had just shown up, they probably would have won. Because that's all you got to do, right?
Some would say that, yes.
Just show up. I mean, like, if we were talking about a great team, like if we were talking about Tom Brady's Patriots against the same old sorry-ass Jets for all those years, okay. I kind of get it. Like, just show up. It's probably gonna go your way. Like, the Panthers aren't good. I mean, respect. Like, didn't you learn the week prior the danger of just showing up when Carolina, sorry-ass Carolina, went up to Green Bay and won 16-13? That's the danger of just thinking you're just going to show up. It's the NFL, man. Just show up.
That's tough.
I kind of want to we pulled the audio. I don't know if when he said that, if I was on camera. Paulie, do you know, like, if I was like, if we had Julian's still up? Because I kind of want to see what my facial reaction was during that. Just show up. I think you and I were both kind of like,
yeah,
looking at each other.
Because it's any given Sunday. How many times do we have to hear that every year?
It's the NFL, bro.
Like, I mean, whenever you say that, your ears do perk up because it's like, wait, what?
Did he just say?
Yeah, what?
The Carolina Panthers.
Especially the Panthers, really.
The Panthers who got dusted by New England 42-13, who got run over by Buffalo 40-9. I mean, lost the Cardinals. They're no good. I mean, the Saints lost the Cardinals too, but the Saints aren't any good.
Yes.
Anyway. The moral of the story is, if you're ever doing a radio interview and someone asks you what the blueprint is for your team to win, I wouldn't go with just show up. That's liable to bite you. Shout out to Julian Council, though. Locked on Panthers. Good dude. Terrible answer. Awful answer to the question. Great dude. And really good at his job. It's possible to be really good at what you do and to give an awful answer. That's a guy who's really good at what he does and gave an awful answer to that question. Alan Moore, by the way.
Alan Moore.
He met with reporters on Monday, was asked if Sunday was the team's most complete performance of the year. Here's what he said.
I feel like it was nice to see complementary football in three phases working together. Certainly saw that with just the way that thing played out. And so I felt like it was one of our cleaner games, protecting the football, creating turnovers, playing a physical game in all three phases. So hopefully something we can build on.
The biggest conversation point, though, obviously, is about Tyler Shough. So my feeling, I think, about Shough's day is probably like a lot of you had. I'm not sitting here ready to coronate Tyler Shough as a Hall of Famer or even as the Saints' future starter, as the franchise. What I think is undeniable out of Sunday is you saw enough there to say, oh, that could be something. His ability to move in the pocket, keep his eyes downfield. Certainly the arm strength clearly is there. The accuracy on the deep ball to Chris Olave. Man, the play on the 52-yarder to Juwan Johnson, the catch and run. He avoided about 3 different would-be defenders. Really protected the football. I mean, all check, all the way through that. Well, what about after they watched the film? Here was Ellen on Monday.
Ellen Moore.
After they watched the film.
Yeah, I thought there's a lot of positives. Every game's going to have some opportunities that we're going to want to get back, and that everyone falls in the same boat for that. I think there's a lot of positives there. I thought the hard downs, the third downs, I thought were a huge factor in the offense yesterday. I thought he made some incredible plays moving in the pocket, guys staying alive, and so he delivered downfield, made some big plays.
Even the touchdown to Juwan. I mean, I think they said after the game that was like his 3rd or 4th progression. Like Ross Jackson wrote about this at Louisiana Sports, and that ball wasn't supposed to go to Juwan, but he went through his 3rd, 4th progression. I mean, that shows. Talking about a guy that's 26 years old, man, played 7 years of college football. He's been around a long time and had the opportunity for the first 2 months of the season to sit and watch, and maybe that benefited him. Now the Saints go into their bye, an opportunity to rest, to continue to grow there with Shough as the starter and see how they do in a home game against the Falcons, where I can assure you they will have to do more than just show up. By the way, on 3rd down, the Saints were 8 of 17 on 3rd down on Sunday against the Panthers. The Panthers were 3 of 9 on 3rd down. All right, we're brought to you by Evermore, EVAMOR, Evermore.com, Evermore.com. Drink Evermore. It's a healthier alternative. It's natural artesian water. If you're an elite athlete that needs better hydration, you're a parent, you want a better option for your children, for your family. I mean, I tell you all the time, purge tap water out of your life. I've done it. Evermore is an awesome option. Get the 64-ounce bottles. I drink 2 of those every day. Pour it in your Keurig if you make coffee like I do. And it's a Louisiana product, y'all, with national distribution. So even if you're listening or watching outside of Baton Rouge or outside of Louisiana, go to evermore.com, hit the Find a Store tab, type in your zip code, and just like that, it'll show you what store is near you where you can find Evermore. EVAMOR, evermore.com, evermore.com, EVAMOR, evermore.com. All right, Muse will do Tigers in the Pros to wrap up hour number 2 when we come back. Monday shows are brought to you by Relief Windows and reliefwindows.com. We will after the top of the hour. So do Tigers in the Pros. We'll get to Sports Center. Then when we come back on Monday during his press conference, Frank Wilson kind of gave an update on the quarterback position. We know that there's a full-on quarterback controversy now, a 2-quarterback system, all that stuff. So Frank went through it, was peppered with 4 or 5 questions about the quarterbacks Monday. We'll let you know what he said and kind of how I think it's all going to play out here as we move forward for the remainder of the season. We'll do that coming up after the top of the hour. Stick around here on AFR.
After further review.
Maybe your gift to your family this Christmas is going to be a new pool. Wouldn't that be awesome? Duplessis Builders can help. Go to duplessisbuilders.net. Start there, duplessisbuilders.net. You can pop into the showroom. I highly recommend that to begin with. If you want to go meet with Derek or one of their associates at the showroom on Airline Highway in Prairieville, you could do. They're right next to Rouse's on Airline and Duplessis Lane. Incidentally, easy way to remember it. DuplessisBuilders.net, DuplessisBuilders.net. But you may think, man, I don't know if I can afford a pool. Well, first of all, Duplessis has financing for any budget, but they also have a pool for any budget. Go to DuplessisBuilders.net. They can build you the big, giant, beautiful custom pool with any feature amenity you want. Same with the outdoor kitchens. But they have ready-made models, 11 different ones that you can choose from starting at $49,000. So go to DuplessisBuilders.net to check it out today. DuplessisBuilders.net.
Banking on the go? Our mobile app makes it effortless. But at Campus Federal, you're more than just an account number. We build relationships with our members, supporting you from saving for college to owning your first home. If you're buying a car, planning a home renovation, or a vacation, we're here to help. Campus Federal Credit Union, your trusted financial partner for every stage of life. Start your journey today.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
While Louisiana politics can seem like they're from another planet, Moon Griffon isn't afraid to bring politicians back down to earth. Listen to the Moon Griffon Show weekday mornings at 9 on Talk 107.3.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
Wrapping up hour number 2. A lot to get to. Coming up after SportsCenter, Frank Wilson, Nussmeier, Van Buren, that controversy. We'll let you know the plan coming up. We got bowl projections out there. Yeah, we'll get to that as well. Our college football takeaways. A lot to do right now, though. Muso has Tigers in the pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now.
Joe Burrow is getting over the toe.
You don't have a toe anymore?
Well, he's still got the toe, but he's getting over the toe.
Okay.
See, Joe Burrow returned to practice on Monday, officially opening his 21-day window. Still on IR, was just limited, but was out there after having surgery on the toe. Burrow spoke with the media as well. Said that a return on Thanksgiving Day against the Ravens on the 27th would be meaningful to him, very meaningful. You remember he suffered a season-ending wrist injury in Baltimore on a November primetime game as well. Said, look, it's a lot that goes into it, a lot of variables. He also didn't rule out the team's overall record factoring into the decision. Remember, the Bengals stink. They're 3-6. But Joey B, if he wants to play, they're going to let him play. You know that. Burrow getting over the toe. Long journey back for our guy.
From the toe?
From the toe. A guy who didn't have a toe is Danielle Hunter. And
never had a toe?
No, but the Jacksonville Jaguars might have wished he had a toe yesterday. 7 tackles, 3.5 sacks.
Wow.
For Danielle Hunter.
Can't do that if you got a toe.
You can't. He added another tackle for a loss in the game. He's up to 7.5 sacks on the season now. That is good for a top 10 ranking in the NFL. Derek Stingley Jr. for the Texans, also really solid. An interception. That was his third of the year. That's top 5 in the NFL to go along with 2 stops and an additional pass defense.
No toe?
No toe for
Good.
Derek Stingley Jr. either.
Good.
Yeah, thank goodness. No. We need him to continue to stay healthy. Patrick Queen, no toe, 12 tackles in that abomination of Sunday Night Football in the loss to the Chargers. But leading tackler in the game, actually, Patrick Queen. So shout out to him. And then one NBA note here. Naz Reid.
Should have stayed.
13-4 last night, 25 minutes, all of that off the bench. 33% from three-point range, though. He was awesome again. And the Timberwolves scored 144 points. Goodness gracious. That's Tigers in the pros.
Presented by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, LMFJ.com. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. What's today? November the 10th. Muse, you're running out of time to go by Lee Michaels to get that ring before you pop the question. Running out of time, Muse.
Well, all right.
Counting down the days.
We do love Lee Michaels.
Thrill her with a gift in the red box from Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. They're the best. They've been helping Louisianians get engaged for 4 decades, kind of like Muse. So thrill her with a gift in the red box. If they don't have what you want, they'll find it. If they can't find it, they'll make it. Great selection, and you always get the Lee Michaels experience, no matter your budget. Don't have any apprehension. They know most people don't buy jewelry every day. They're aware of that, so they're going to make you comfortable when you walk in the door. It's Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. You can even schedule that with one of their associates, that appointment with one of their associates at the website at lmfj.com, lmfj.com, for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. All right, y'all. It's After Further Review, and glad to have you hanging out with us here. SportsCenter's coming up. We'll get you caught up on national headlines. Been a busy show already, recapping LSU's loss to Bama, the Saints win against the Panthers. That's all on demand, presented by Brett Golf. If you missed it, you can get it on podcast or on YouTube. When we come back, Frank Wilson updates the future of the quarterback position at LSU.
AFR.
Supper Club is closed today, but my goodness, can't wait for them to reopen tomorrow, and we are steamrolling toward the holidays. Hey, if you're going to have a Christmas party, remember, you can have that party at Supper Club, but we're getting kind of late now to make those reservations. And no matter the size of the party, like Brandon was telling me, they've had companies rent out the entire building. So if you want to have a party for your entire office, organization, clients, whatever, you can do that at Supper Club. They obviously need advance notice if they're going to shut down and all that sort of stuff. But if you want the particulars, give them a shout. Go to supperclubbtr.com, supperclubbtr.com. Maybe you just want the private room. I think my birthday at Supper Club a couple years ago, family, I think we had maybe 16 in the private room. There's tons of options no matter the size of your party. It's always a great place to celebrate. It's Supper Club. Supperclubbtr.com, supperclubbtr.com.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. If you're battling an insurance company because of a wreck not your fault and they're not calling you back or being fair, whether you hire us at all, give us a call, 272-5555, or email Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates. You have nothing to lose.
Hello, I'm Collins Meredith. If you've been injured on the job, you'll likely have a workers' compensation claim, but you may also have a tort claim which opens up significant recovery rights not normally available for a work injury. If this is you, call us or come see us at Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Parish Construction and Roofing.
This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs.
From your hometown, parishbuilt.com.
Raising Cane's is our victory meal.
Football fans are some of the most dedicated fans in sports. It's a fundamental quality we share, and that fuels every single order of our hand-battered chicken fingers. Wherever there's football, there's Raising Cane's.
One love. Let's go.
Every winner knows a great play starts with a solid game plan and the right team by your side. At Sunshine, we're here to keep your operation running strong. From tractors to harvesters, we've got the John Deere equipment you need to tackle every job with confidence. Because when the work's done right, there's more time for the things that matter, like cheering on your favorite team. Make Sunshine Quality Solutions part of your playbook this season and learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com.
Flight by Yingling is raising the bar by crafting the next generation of light beer. With only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Flight by Yingling. Raise the bar.
In South Louisiana, you can always count on good people coming together to help our children.
At Dreams Come True, we grant wishes for Louisiana children with life-threatening illnesses. But to do this, we need funds.
That's why we're trying to raise $100,000 for Dreams Come True by giving away the Blessed Children's School.
Make your backyard's dream come true while helping our kids.
Just go to dreampoolla.com and you can find out how your $25 donation might help win you a Duplessis pool.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. The Giants in the market for their sixth head coach the last decade. They fired Brian Daboll after a 2-8 start for the third straight season. Assistant head coach and offensive coordinator Mike Kafka is the interim coach. Joe Shane remains GM and will lead the head coaching search. And 2 names come immediately to mind for our Harry Douglas in that search.
Jesse Minter, who's done a phenomenal job with the Chargers, and he's been tied to the national championship in Jim Harbaugh at Michigan, and also he had some time in the Baltimore Ravens organization. Clint Kubiak and the job that he's doing right now with the Seattle Seahawks, and the relationship that he's been able to form with Sam Darnold and how that offense looks.
Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow returned to practice today in a limited capacity. 21-day window for him to be activated off injured reserves begun. Burrow's been out since week 2 with a turf toe injury. Guardians pitcher Luis Ortiz appeared in federal court today on charges accusing him and teammate Emmanuel Clase of taking bribes to help associates in their native Dominican Republic win prop bets based on pitches they threw. Ortiz's bond set at $500,000.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. We make the claims process easy so you can get back on the road in no time. It's why over 43 million drivers trust Progressive. See for yourself at progressive.com.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's rock!
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Relief Windows. I'm Matt.
You're a loser, Matt!
Shut up, kid. Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Old Muso. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. Now you turn it. There you go. Sorry, Muse. Don't worry about it. We just do it 3 times a day, every day. 5 days a week.
Yeah, I moved my hand. I kind of flicked the fader there by mistake. That's
250 times a year.
Is that the right math?
250 shows, yeah.
Okay. Right.
It's in my contract.
There, yeah.
I know how many shows I do a year. We're here. Glad you are as well. Out there making a good one. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you're driving home with us. We are live from the Raising Cane studio in downtown Baton Rouge. Glad to have you hanging out with us here. We will get some bold projections, some more of what Saints head coach Ellen Moore had to say on Monday after he met with reporters. Saints heading into the bye off a win, which is certainly good. Get to our college football takeaways as well. Jimmy's here for Otter Locks a bit later. The biggest storyline, no doubt, to come out of Saturday night for LSU was that it is an unavoidable conversation now. You have a 2-quarterback system. And you know the old adage, if you have two quarterbacks, then you don't have one. And that certainly is where LSU stands. And it is so massively disappointing that the season has gone the way that it has. Garrett Nussmeier entered with Cade Klubnik, kind of his co-favorites for the Heisman Trophy, the leading returning passer in college football, a guy that was projected to be a first-round pick. Some had him on the board potentially as the first overall pick, and this has just been a miserable season. If you want to trace it back to whatever the oblique torso thing was he dealt with in fall camp, how much did it limit him? That's certainly up for debate. We'll probably find that out whenever he heads to the combine. They go through the full physical. But what's undeniable at this point is that LSU offensively through 9 games, you just are what you are. And what you are is a very bad offensive team. 127th in the country in rushing offense, 96th in scoring offense, 59th in passing. And Garrett Nussmeier has been your quarterback through all that. And so the quarterback naturally is going to get more credit than they normally deserve, more blame than they normally deserve, and that's the case with Garrett. My contention all along, with Garrett this year has been he has certainly been part of the problem. I don't think he is the biggest part of the problem. I don't think Garrett Nussmeier forgot how to throw the football. You could talk all you want about arm strength accuracy. Certainly looked good on that 20-yarder to Xavier Thomas, the 16-yarder to Nick Anderson. He showed some zip and some of the things that have made him Garrett Nussmeier. I think the biggest problem, the domino that has fallen, has been a really bad offensive line that has caused Garrett Nussmeier to be pressured and battered and bludgeoned all season. The inability to run. You didn't have that last year. Not that dissimilar from Alabama this year, a team that can't run the football, but they're really elite at receiver, and they have a quarterback playing at an exceptionally high level, and they keep him clean. LSU has not been able to keep Garrett Nussmeier upright in a clean pocket, and that has had a domino effect on everything they do. And clearly, be it Joe Sloan calling plays or Alex Atkins calling plays, they have a scheme issue that is not conducive for the skill set that they have this year. That's a fact. There's just no arguing that 9 games in. And so, as Frank Wilson said leading up to the game last week, that if there was an opportunity to play Michael Van Buren situationally that made sense, they would. My contention was I thought they'd have a package. They'd use him in a spot, 5 to 7 snaps. But in the third quarter, after the first possession of the third quarter, when LSU had a 1st and goal at the 8, and then the disaster sequence that followed, the delay of game on Nussmeier, burning the timeout after the delay of game, then taking the 14-yard sack against a 3-man rush where he needed to step up. Instead, he retreated and spun right into a sack. That was it for Garrett Nussmeier. He was replaced by Michael Van Buren, and to be perfectly honest, Van Buren wasn't much better. I know where fans fall on this. The fans are ready for a change. Overwhelmingly, you are all ready to see Michael Van Buren. And that's fine. I'm not defending Garrett Nussmeier. He has not objectively not been good this year. But neither has the line, and neither is the running game, and neither is the play calling. And all of those things are still going to be in place for Michael Van Buren, which mean you're still going to be a bad offense. Like you saw with Van Buren in the second half. He completed less than 50% of his passes. He had a turnover. He did some nice things. There was a 3rd and 11, and he ran for what looked like a first down, or 3rd and 10. He ran for what looked like a first down and slid. They reviewed it, slid just short of the mark. I hated that they reviewed that and pulled it, and reversed it, because he did what you want a quarterback to do in that situation, which is slide. And now, with that review going the way it did, next time he's more than likely not going to slide. Anyway, I don't want to get distracted. But the point is, your offense wasn't any better with Michael Van Buren. The only possession that he led where you got points was after the Harold Perkins strip sack fumble, where you got the ball at their 38 and you didn't move the ball, you settled for a field goal. So, it's what it is. It doesn't matter if it's Nussmeier or Van Buren. The offense isn't going to be good. I do have an idea of maybe how this plays out. I'll share with you in a second. But Frank Wilson met with reporters on Monday, and first question out the chute was from Wilson Alexander about who the starting quarterback was going to be.
For the quarterback position, I thought both of them did some good things. I thought both of those guys did things that need to be improved upon. I thought Garrett at times was spectacular. He started off red hot. He did some really good things for us. I felt at the back end we needed a spark and something to get us going and add another dimension to our game. I thought Michael stepped in and gave those things to us as a football team. As of now, nothing has drastically changed in how we have flowed. Outside of the fact, like last week, I'll say to you, we're going to use everything that we have, and both of those guys will play in this game moving forward.
So Frank didn't disclose there who the starter would be, only that both would play. I asked a follow-up, and I said, how would you distribute the reps with the first team this week in practice?
You know, I thought Garrett did well enough at times to still be in position to be the starter as we start and embark upon this weekend. So when we go to corrections today and practice tomorrow, he'll be the first guy that goes in.
Okay. So Garrett Nussmeier is still the starter, and both guys are going to play this weekend. I get it. I don't like it, but I understand it, and it's probably the right decision. And I understand that might sound like a contradiction, but just because something might be the right decision doesn't mean that I like it. Because I see this two ways. Number one, this season has been awful. It started with so much expectation. An expectation initially that was matched with the win over Clemson. You got it to number 3 in the country. The defense looked like maybe the best defense in college football. And, I mean, that wasn't just like an LSU take. Remember Kirk Herbstreit, after that first month of the season, said he thought LSU was the best team in the country. I mean, all the odds, playoff odds were all right there. And it's just unraveled because the offense never found its footing, and the defense has been exposed by running quarterbacks. That's just the reality. But I look at Garrett Nussmeier in his time at LSU, and this is a guy in an era where guys don't stay, especially at that position. They leave. Portal allows it. NIL almost demands it of a lot of different guys in different situations. But Garrett Nussmeier, who has led a nomadic young life because of his dad as a coach, always claimed Louisiana and wanted to be the LSU starting quarterback. He could have transferred, didn't. He could have gone pro after last year, stayed, because he wanted to be the LSU quarterback and wanted to lead LSU to a championship. And so came back this year as a 5th season, looking to build upon what he did a year ago, adding all the portal pieces to make a run at a championship. And it has just been awful. And so I know where the fans stand on this deal with Nussmeier. But the thing that I would strongly encourage you to consider is this is an era where fans bemoan the lack of loyalty. I hear it every day. I would suggest there's not a single media member anywhere that makes themselves more available to their audience than me. I pay thousands of dollars for this text line so you can text me whenever you want. On top of Twitter and Instagram and email and all the comments that I get at all the time, all the places. Morning scone every day. Like, I am readily available to hear what you have to say. And I hear all the time fans complain about the lack of loyalty, how the portal is ruining college football, how guys don't stay. Well, here's a guy that is a complete contrast to everything that you hate about this current era of college football. This is a guy who loves wearing that uniform, wanted to win for this school. I understand he's paid very well, but stayed here and cares enough that when it's not working, he's emotional on the sideline. You can say whatever you want about that. That's the thing you claim to want. He does it, and you crap on it. I understand it's not been a great season, but you got 2 games left in Tiger Stadium. Arkansas, and then senior day against Western Kentucky. Your season is lost. You're playing for nothing. I would like to see Garrett Nussmeier get an opportunity to play his final 2 games in Tiger Stadium. That's what I would like to see. A lot of you are ready to just dump on him because it's been a bad year and you want to move on to what's next. Okay. I also very much can understand and appreciate that Michael Van Buren could be your starter next year. And you got 3 more games to find out if that's something that looks like a plausible option. Y'all, I watched Michael Van Buren through fall camp. He was not good. Every day was not good. I'm talking passing against air, missing receivers. They held that walk-through scrimmage the Saturday before Clemson. There was a lot of friends and family who were there, a lot of boosters and all. Everyone who was in that stadium who left had that same reaction because Van Buren was not good. Now, it's true some guys struggle in practice and are really good in games. But I think overwhelmingly, fans who saw Michael Van Buren against Southeastern went, oh, look how great he is. And what I tried to caution you then was he went in a game up 6 touchdowns against an FCS school. Yeah, it looked pretty good. Now, I'm not saying Van Buren isn't an option. I know that's a double negative. I'm not saying Van Buren won't ever be the starter. I know that's a double negative. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the sample size we've seen of Michael Van Buren in practice has not been good. He wasn't good on Saturday, despite a lot of you just leaning into confirmation bias because you want him to play. And so you're going to highlight the things that he did well and ignore the things he did poorly, like not leading a touchdown drive, fumbling late in the ball game, missing an open Kyle Parker, which was overturned, throwing wide to an open Xavion Thomas, which Xavion made a great catch. Like, you're going to ignore all that because it's confirmation bias. Again, the exciting part about Van Buren is he has a skill set where you could say, man, that guy can keep growing, developing, and could be a really good player. By the way, that was the knock on Jaden Daniels when he came here, was he was inaccurate. He left here as one of the most accurate passers we've ever seen in college football. So, yeah, guys are allowed to improve, and the same is true for Michael Van Buren. And you have a 3-game opportunity here to get him reps and game action to see if he might be someone who could be that for you next year. And I'm not opposed to that. I understand that's the reality of what's going to happen. But the thought in my brain that disgusts me right now is that I know what's going to happen on Saturday. Nussmeier's going to start. At some point, they'll punt. He'll throw an incomplete pass. And some of you, a lot of you, unfortunately, I think, whoever bothers to show up, are going to boo. And then at some point, Van Buren's going to go in the game. And when he does, some of you, a lot of you, are going to cheer raucously. And that sucks. I get it. There's nothing I say here that's going to change that. But it doesn't mean I have to like it. But what I will say is, for everyone today who's crapping on Garrett Nussmeier, I don't ever want to hear from you ever again about loyalty in college football. Check that tired argument at the door. I don't ever want to hear you bemoan again players that aren't loyal, players that leave, the portal, NIL, any of that stuff. Because you have maybe the single most shining example of a guy who wanted to bleed for this school and play at that program because that was always a dream and a goal. And because it hasn't gone well here in this final year, you all are crapping on it. And that is hypocrisy at its worst. So, I know I sound preachy. I know Van Buren's going to play, and I hope he does awesome. The only thing that I would strongly encourage you to do is if you're in the stadium, you're on social media, whatever it may be, at least respect what Garrett Nussmeier has meant to this program because he's meant an awful lot to it. And it sucks the way that it's going to finish for him. I don't think there's anybody that thinks that sucks more than Garrett Nussmeier does. But if you go in that stadium on Saturday and you boo Garrett Nussmeier, I don't ever want to hear you come at me again about loyalty. How the portal and NIL is ruining college football. Okay, there's my sermon. We've had church. I'll go read my text line now in the break, and all of you will crap on me because that's what you do. It's AFR.
AFR.
Let's Rev. R-E-V. Let'sRev.com. Let'sRev.com. Hey, it doesn't matter if it's for your home or for your business. Rev serves more than 70,000 clients in Louisiana, home and office. Hey, over at Parish Construction and Roofing, we're a Rev Internet customer. Here at Guarantee Media, we are a Rev Internet customer. And, of course, high-speed internet. If you do cable, if you do home automation, they can do all that for you. But the best part about Rev, y'all, they're local. They've been local for 90 years. 90 years, y'all. 9 decades. So when you call Rev, you call their call center, it's not a call center overseas. It's not AI. It's not a computer automation. You're talking to a human right here in our market. Go to letsrev.com, letsrev.com. And they're backed by an all-fiber network. Means it's buried under the ground. R-E-V. Letsrev.com. Letsrev.com.
Banking on the go? Our mobile app makes it effortless. But at Campus Federal, you're more than just an account number. We build relationships with our members, supporting you from saving for college to owning your first home. If you're buying a car, planning a home renovation, or a vacation, we're here to help. Campus Federal Credit Union, your trusted financial partner for every stage of life. Start your journey today.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
Baton Rouge's home for real rock. It's Eagle 98.1. Foo Fighters. Led Zeppelin. AC/DC. Pearl Jam. And the flagship home for LSU sports. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. Eagle 98.1 is the rock station.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Flight by Yingling is raising the bar by crafting the next generation of light beer. With only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Flight by Yingling. Raise the bar.
Parish Construction and Roofing.
This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs.
From your hometown, parishbuilt.com.
Tiger Country is 100.7 The Tiger. In the car on 100.7 FM or on the 100.7 The Tiger app.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
Muse, what the hell is that? Come on.
This says chill pop beat.
Delete it forever.
Blue
I
skies.
never want to hear that again. That's awful. Give me some energy, man. It's Monday. Saints got to win, huh? Turn it off right now. Turn it off. All the way off. Quickly. Thank you. I don't want that ever again. Delete it. Delete it. I am actually a little, maybe pleasantly surprised by the reaction to my Nussmeier sermon. Probably should have played church music under it. Chris said your message needs to be pumped by every show all week. Stadium needs to stand with us even though he's struggling. James said, thank you for supporting the Nussmeier, giving his whole heart to LSU. Appreciate the kind words. Seth said, facts, Matt. It's not a QB issue. If fans are going to boo, they should boo Brad Davis. Sam said, hell no, perfect sermon, dead on. Dramatic pause at the end was on point. I'm surprised. I mean, I figured I'd get a lot of flack for that. Listen, man, I'm never I tell you all the time that when it comes to your free time and your disposable income, I'm never going to tell you what to do. And I mean that sincerely. I will never tell you, you got to show up to the game. If you want to buy your tickets and use them for toilet paper, okay. If you want to show up early and leave late, or show up late and leave early, okay. If you want to sell your tickets to the other fan base and make a profit, okay. I will never sit here. It would be so hypocritical of me to tell you what to do with your time and money. I don't want anybody telling me what to do with my time and money. I like to buy whiskey and sneakers. I like to spend Sunday night after we put Drew down in my outdoor kitchen, smoking a cigar, having a glass of wine, watching Sunday Night Football. That's how I unwind or reset for the next week. I don't care what anyone thinks of that. That's my time. So you do you. Everyone should, I'm never going to sit here and say, if you're a real fan, you should show up and be like, no, you do you. If you want to go and sit on your hands, you do you. I just have, I know how it's going to go. And there will be the fans who say, I'm not booing the player, I'm booing the coach, or booing the decision. Or you can say whatever you want, man. We all know what the reality is and how it's going to be received. You know, it's just been a crappy year. And it sucks. But that's life. Sports is a great teacher. It's a great reflection of how life goes sometimes. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Sometimes everything's on a silver platter and it looks like it's going to be great and it doesn't work out at the end. That's life. Sometimes life kicks you in the ass. And how you handle adversity is a great way to define who you are as a person. And there are greater tragedies in life than losing football games. Absolutely fact. So I get it. I just hate the thought of fans booing Garrett Nussmeier and cheering raucously when he's replaced on Saturday, which is going to happen. That's going to happen. He's going to be replaced at some point. If it's good play, bad play, just rotating quarterbacks, however Frank decides to do it, that's going to be because I know the fan sentiment right now. You're ready. You're ready for a change. And I'm not saying you're wrong altogether. I also don't believe that change is going to net you great results because this offense isn't good. It's just functionally a broken offense. So, now look, Arkansas is atrocious defensively. So you have that kind of going for you a little bit. But they're probably sitting there thinking, hey, LSU's awful offensively. So maybe we got a shot. Because Arkansas can score, man. Arkansas averages 35 a game. And points against, they are 125th in the country in scoring defense. There are 136 teams that play FBS football. Arkansas is 125th in points against. So as bad as you are offensively, they are equally as bad or worse defensively. So that's going to be bad on bad when LSU has the football. We'll see how it goes. All right. This is After Further Review. We're glad to have you hanging out with us here. By the way, Tigers, Arkansas is 2-7, y'all. They won their first two games against Alabama, A&M, Arkansas State. They have not won since. They've lost 7 straight games. They've had some opportunities. Lost a 3-point game to Mississippi State. Lost a close game at home to Auburn. Y'all, they had A&M on the ropes. That was a 45-42 game up there in Fayetteville. They lost by 3 to Tennessee, 34-31. They had the Memphis game in hand and gagged it away late with a late turnover. So, they can move the ball and they can score. They turn it over a ton and they're awful on defense. So LSU's a 6.5-point favorite in that game. And you should win at home, but LSU defensively, the Achilles heel has been the inability to stop a running quarterback, and Taylor Green is as good as any at that. And their defense is terrible, but your offense has been really bad. So is there an opportunity to go make plays? I don't know. We'll talk more about the Arkansas game as we move through the week. All right, bowl projections are out. I do want to get to that. Let me remind you about the Williamson Eye Center. 924-2020. 924-2020. Hey, if you want to see 2020, call 924-2020. Remember, we're nearing the end of the year. So if you have HSA or FSA funds that will expire at the end of the year, don't let those funds expire. Call the Williamson Eye Center. Go have that consultation with Dr. Blake. Ditch the contacts and glasses forever. Maybe it's LASIK. Maybe it's PRK. Maybe it's EVO ICL, which is an implantable contact lens. That's an ICL. That's an alternative to LASIK for people who are nearsighted. Maybe you're farsighted. You know, you're doing that thing where you need readers. Or you gotta hold your phone or the paper away like this and move to do the squinchy face so you can see the paper on you. You can stop doing that forever. Dr. Blake has an option no matter your age or your refractive issue. Call the Williamson Eye Center, 924-2020, 924-2020, or williamsoneye.com. All right, a lot of bowl projections right now that the calendar's flipped to November, keeping an eye on, where LSU could land. Of course, the Tigers are at 5 wins, so they're not yet bowl eligible, which is wild that you're into November and LSU's not bowl eligible yet. But you do have the game this week against Arkansas, and then you've got next week against Western Kentucky. So you're going to be favored in your next 2 home games. Hopefully you win them both. You get to 7, and then we'll see what happens when they go on the road to Oklahoma, although against that defense, hard to be optimistic. I mean, Oklahoma might be the best defense in the SEC when they're healthy and right. You got to play the game on the road, and Oklahoma could well be playing for a playoff spot, depending on what happens this week with Oklahoma in Tuscaloosa. But it's basically a clean sweep. Kyle Bonagura over at ESPN has LSU in the Gator Bowl. Now, remember, part of the thing that may work in LSU's favor as far as a better bowl game is that a handful of SEC teams may make the playoff. So if you have A&M, Georgia, Alabama, Texas, maybe another school like Ole Miss, which I think is going to be in. Like Vanderbilt is a 2-loss team right now. Vanderbilt beats Kentucky and Tennessee. They finished 10-2 and could well be in there. I mean, you could be talking about 5 or 6 SEC teams with a legitimate case to be made to be in the playoff, which means all of the SEC Bowl tie-ins, if you lose 5 or 6 teams off the top, then everybody kind of moves up. So it's why it's interesting to see Kyle Bonagura project LSU to play Virginia in the Gator Bowl. But everyone else, Mark Schleybaugh, Brian Fisher at SI, Steve Lassen over at Athlon, CBS Sports, College Football News, all of them have, 4 of them have LSU in the Music City Bowl. Brad Crawford over at CBS has LSU back in the Texas Bowl against Houston. So it's not going to be a palatial Christmas or New Year's destination for LSU in a bowl game. But Gator Bowl, Music City, Texas is kind of what you're looking at right there. I know nobody's thinking about that right now, but something we need to start thinking about as we move toward the end of November when bowl destinations will be handed out. All right, it's After Further Review. Monday shows are brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Energy efficient replacement windows, beautiful entry doors, hardy plank vinyl siding. They do it all. They do it better than anyone. It's Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Quick break. Muse, Paulie, and I will do our college football takeaways. Then we'll get to Jimmy for Otter Locks. Don't you move. It's AFR.
AFR.
I done told you. I know that's not proper grammar. Don't care. I done told you. I done told you that cold weather was going to come. You were going to crank on that heater. And before you did, you need to call River City's 1 hour air. Did you do it? I know, you're just squirming in your seat a little bit right now. But don't worry. It's not too late. You can still call River City's 1 hour air. Have them come by and do that heater safety check. Highly recommend you do this. Listen, there's 3 reasons primarily. Number 1, it's going to extend the life of your unit. That's important. Like, you want your heater to last so you don't have to spend a lot of money to replace it. Regular, just like your vehicle. Regular maintenance, like changing the oil, you want to have annual maintenance on your heater. Number 2, it'll lower your energy bills. By making it more efficient, if it's running more efficiently, it's going to lower your energy bills. And then number 3, and most importantly, it's going to keep your home and your family safe. Heater safety check from River City's 1 hour air. 752-0001.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance, Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
In South Louisiana, you can always count on good people coming together to help our children.
At Dreams Come True, we grant wishes for Louisiana children with life-threatening illnesses. But to do this, we need funds.
That's why we're trying to raise $100,000 for Dreams Come True by giving away the Blessed Children's School.
Make your backyard's dream come true while helping our kids.
Just go to dreampoolla.com and you can find out how your $25 donation might help win you a Duplessis pool.
At Luba Workers Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Trust isn't given, it's earned by showing up, leading the way, and performing at your best when it matters most. Our Lady of the Lake sports medicine experts know what it takes to improve performance and build champions at every level. That's why LSU chose Our Lady of the Lake as its championship health partner, trusting Louisiana's best medical team to care for our state's best athletes. From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
I trust the lake.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
They're calling it Peloton Statement Saturday this weekend. No, seriously, I just got that in my inbox from ESPN's PR. So they've named the weekend Statement Saturday, and it's sponsored by Peloton. Respect. I mean, we are an ad-based model here as well. We rely on great sponsors. This feels a little aggressive, naming the weekend and then sponsoring the named weekend.
It's forced. It's so forced.
A little bit. I mean, I get it. Sometimes you got to guarantee impressions and eyeballs, and you're building a package. You know, you say to Peloton, here we're building out the package for you.
Who's got the sponsored head coach? Like their head coaching positions named for somebody who paid for it to be named for them?
Yeah, Northwestern?
Maybe. Yeah, that's what this feels like to me.
Yeah.
That's exactly what this feels like to me.
The Peloton Statement Saturday.
Bro,
and you know what? They've gotten a bunch of mentions for Peloton here.
I know. There's no alliteration. Like, it's just.
Statement Saturday's alliteration.
Yeah, but. I get why they did it. Like, I understand why they did it.
Yeah. By the way, it'll be Taylor Zarzar, Matt Stinchcomb, and Alyssa Lang on the call in Baton Rouge at 11:45 a.m. on the SEC Network Saturday. Just got that into the inbox.
Shout out.
Great team there.
Yeah.
I don't know Taylor Zarzar. Matt Stinchcomb has been on the show a bunch over the years, and Alyssa Lang's awesome. So glad to have them in BR this weekend. Hopefully it'll be a beautiful morning on Saturday. Have we looked at weather yet?
I haven't.
It'll be cold tomorrow. I don't love that. I don't love this at all.
Bro, it's I was in a bad mood when I woke up this morning.
Saturday, high of 78, low of 58.
That's perfect.
Should be nice.
Yeah, that's
sunny.
perfect.
Sunny. Rain coming on Sunday.
Oh, man.
A little bit of a future cast there.
Yeah.
But anyway, looks like it'll be a nice Saturday in Tiger Stadium. All right, it's after further review. Muse, Paulie, and I, we do 3 college football takeaways each after the college football weekend. We call it college football takeaways. Hit it.
Another week in the books. What did we learn about the landscape of college football?
All right, Muse, fire away there with your first one and tell us about Fernando Mendoza.
Heisman moment. Really kind of the first one we've seen this year, it feels like, man. That was an incredible drive. So if you weren't watching the game, you've by now seen the touchdown catch, but let me just set it up for you. Penn State, 24-20 lead, minute 15 to go. Indiana gets the ball back, no timeout, starting on their own 20. They got to go 80 yards. Mendoza takes a sack on first down. 2nd and 17.
Yeah, we all saw it. Okay, are you going to get to Gus Johnson or not?
I am. 22 yards. They were off and running. Showed great poise. He's awesome. I think he's the best quarterback in college football.
We got it. Yeah,
and then
great.
Gus Johnson completely,
You have the audio?
Ruined. I'm getting it right now.
You need me to do it.
Yes, I need you to do it.
Yeah.
Ruined the touchdown call.
You should have had this, Muse. Come on. Wait, here we go.
In trouble! It's out! Touchdown! Wow! A miracle play! Unbelievable!
What Gus Johnson said?
Gus Johnson. I get it. People love him or hate him. But he ruined that call. He ruined it. He broke. His voice, he was so over the top, his voice completely gave out on it.
Oh my God. I missed it. When I called you for game day, you were like, go look at my Twitter right now. You have to hear this. It's atrocious.
God.
That's the first time I heard that. That's bad.
Dynamite drop in, Monty.
That was awful.
I love you, Paul.
My takeaway is the ACC is a mess. Virginia picked up a tough loss. Louisville lost to Cal in overtime. So we're back to Georgia Tech being the highest-ranked ACC team. Miami's also back to having a shot at the ACC championship and the playoff. So there are now 5 ACC teams with 1 conference loss.
Oregon.
Unbelievable.
They beat Iowa in the rain and cold, 18-16. A game they probably had no business winning, but good teams find a way to win. Ducks 8-1. Man, tell you what, with a home loss to Indiana, had they lost that game to Iowa, you've been teetering there, Oregon. They keep the hope alive.
Speaking of keeping hope alive, North Carolina, they've won 2 in a row. Now 2 games away from bowl eligibility.
North Carolina.
It won't be easy, but look, Gio Lopez is starting to play better. Their offensive line's playing better. I get it. It was Syracuse and Stanford. I understand. At Wake Forest, Duke, at NC State. That's their final 3. Let's see if they can get to 6 wins in Bill Belichick's first season.
Mizzou's playoff chances are pretty much done.
No, they're
I'm
done.
turning my focus to Eli Drinkwitz.
What are you doing?
Shifting my focus.
I'm turning my Your what?
Oh, I didn't even, yeah.
So A&M knocked off Missouri. 3rd loss. This pretty much felt inevitable. Missouri's been knocking on the door the last 2 years. Like I said, now I'm going to do it again.
Oh, Paul, come on.
Now my shift.
Land the plane.
My focus is shifting to Eli Drinkwitz.
Got it.
He's going to have a lot of suitors. Will he take another SEC job? Will he leave Missouri? He'll have a fascinating November ahead.
I don't know if I should talk about Vanderbilt or Auburn.
Yeah.
Vanderbilt winning is massively consequential because they're 8-2, 4-2 in the league. They've got Kentucky and Tennessee remaining. If they win their next 2 games, they're 10-2, and we've all just assumed you're 10-2, you're in the playoff. But they were teetering. They needed overtime to beat Auburn and a late touchdown to rally. Or they allowed Auburn the late touchdown to rally to send the game to overtime, and then Vandy ultimately won it in overtime. But my goodness, Auburn. Like, how many, the hideout play against Oklahoma, gagging away the game against Missouri. I just go through the schedule and think, man, the A&M game, like, Auburn was like this close to being like a 7-win team right now, and instead their coach is fired. They just can't win a game. Whatever. All right, so Missouri, Vandy, still very much playoff alive. Very much playoff alive.
I mean, the conference race that nobody's talking about is the American, and no one's going to be talking about it pretty much from here on out because I think they might have lost their chance to send a team to the playoff with that Tulane and Memphis game. Unless North Texas wins this league, the conference champion is going to have multiple losses. I mean, South Florida's got the Power 4 win against Florida, but I don't know if that's enough, man. I mean, everyone else except North Texas, 2 losses. We just all assumed it'd be the American. It doesn't look like it's going to be. Paul?
As Musso mentioned there, the American, I'm keeping my eye on James Madison because they remain undefeated in the Sun Belt after they beat Marshall. Like you said, the Americans kind of beating up on themselves. Keep an eye on the Dukes, who have won 7 in a row. If JMU keeps winning, the Dukes could be in the playoffs in just their 4th FBS season.
Oh, by the way, I just mentioned a smidge ago that Vandy's still very much alive for the playoff. Have you seen whose odds for the Heisman Trophy have skyrocketed? Diego Pavia is now 20-1. I'm not saying, because Julian's saying they're likely going to win out, and he's likely going to win it. And Mendoza's right behind him.
Yeah.
But then you have a trio of SEC quarterbacks. Ty Simpson, and Alabama's got a shot to win out. Marcel Reed and A&M. If they can beat Texas and Austin, they should win out. And then Diego Pavia is there at 20-1 following him. If they win out, all I'm saying is November is when you tend to see teams choke when they can't handle the pressure of being front runners. You almost saw it with Fernando Mendoza this week in Indiana. I mean, this close to losing on the road to Penn State. That might have been their scare. I'm just saying. These guys, any of these guys saying Mendoza, like, they go and grab the throat. I mean, Ohio State can't be Michigan. So
It's true. They can't.
I'm just saying, man.
Bama's got Oklahoma.
Marcel Reed, Diego Pavia are all right there. Three SEC quarterbacks, 3rd, 4th, and 5th in the odds right now behind Sain and Mendoza, just lurking, ready to jump up and steal that little stiff arm trophy. Let's keep an eye on it. All right, those are college football takeaways. We're brought to you by Arco Power Systems, arco.com, arco.com, ARCCO, arco.com. Man, so impressive learning about Arco Power Systems as I have in these few months that we've been able to tell you about them, because they serve and have served for 4 decades businesses all over the region. And when we talk about Arco Power Systems, this is Generac Industrial Energy. These are generators. These are Generac generators, but not for your home. This is not home standby generators. This is for your business. Like here at Guarantee Media, we have this big giant building. On the back of our building, we have a standby generator. I mean, power goes out, we can't go off air, right? What would a power outage mean for your business? You have to have a plan. You need Arco Power Systems, ARCCO, arco.com. They just signed a lease in Houston. They go as far west as San Antonio, Mobile. They head up to Little Rock, Dallas, Austin. They're everywhere. And they serve every industry you can imagine. Nursing homes, grocery chains, hospitals, hotels, banks, chemical plants, gas stations, universities, governments, municipalities. If you need standby power, you need Arco Power Systems. ARCCO, arco.com, arco.com, ARCCO, arco.com. All right, y'all, it's after further review. Put a button here, or getting close to the end of the show. We'll knock out our final break, come back. Jimmy, I don't know what he's doing, but he just sent us the picks, so he can't jump aboard with us. No worries. So we'll knock out our final break. We'll come back here. We'll give you Otter's picks. They're up at LouisianaSports.net. And I guess since no Jimmy, we have an opportunity for what we learned, something that we said we would do every day for a lot of years and then just never did. But we can actually do it. So, guys, be prepared for what we learned. We'll do that to wrap up next on AFR.
AFR.
Man, it was great having Gordon on the show from Court to Table last week. Always enjoy visiting with Gordon McKernan, and always love telling you about Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys, not just because of all the great work they do in the NIL space, which is certainly beneficial to LSU and all sports because of their investment into that NIL space, but the many different ways that Gordon gives back. Really excited. They just sent out the press release. Gordon's going to be giving away 600 bicycles this holiday season all across the state of Louisiana for less fortunate children to have a brighter Christmas. You want to learn more, you can go to getgordon.com, getgordon.com. 600 free bikes. Registration is open now. It's on all their socials. If you want to see the registration form, go to @GetGordon on any of their socials and find out how you can win one of 600 free bikes this Christmas. Get Gordon, get it done.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs, set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free, confidential help now.
Raising Cane's is our victory meal.
Football fans are some of the most dedicated fans in sports. It's a fundamental quality we share, and that fuels every single order of our hand-battered chicken fingers. Wherever there's football, there's Raising Cane's.
One love. Let's go.
Parish Construction and Roofing.
This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs.
From your hometown, parishbuilt.com.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
Well, down the stretch we come. Final segment here on a Monday edition of AFR, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, door, siding. Oh yeah, they do shutters too. Relief Windows and reliefwindows.com. Typically, right here is where we do otter locks. I was going to say at the otter lock open. Don't worry about it. You don't have to hit there. Jimmy can't be with us. I don't know what he's doing, but he just sent us a text and was like, here's the picks. They're on the website, but I can't join you. So I'll run through Otter's picks here. He has a Monday Night Football pick and a college basketball play. So, again, free, always free, everything free over at LouisianaSports.net. Bookmark it. Go there every single day, LouisianaSports.net. So Jimmy on Monday Night Football likes the Philadelphia Eagles plus 1.5. And on the hardwood, he's got Mississippi State plus 5.5. Mississippi State taking on Iowa State tonight. I think that one's in Ames. I don't know if it's a neutral site or if it's in Ames, but they're on the road. But anyway, so Jimmy's got Monday Night Football with the Eagles and Mississippi State plus 5.5. We're going to get to what we learned here in just a quick second. We are brought to you by First South Farm Credit, firstsouthland.com, firstsouthland.com. If you're thinking of buying land, your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. Doesn't matter if you want 20 acres to build your family's dream home, 1,000 acres for agriculture, 100 acres, that hunting property, that recreational property. We're getting near the end of the year. Maybe talk to your CPA. See if that's a great investment, good tax strategy. Have that conversation. Look, it's dirt. They ain't making no more of it. I don't think Columbus is going to sail the ocean blue and find some new land that we're unaware of. Feels like it's all spoken for at this point. So, could be a great investment. First South Farm Credit can help you buy land. So go to firstsouthland.com, firstsouthland.com. Thinking of buying land, your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. Firstsouthland.com, firstsouthland.com. All right, we'll get to what we learned here. Muse, what'd you learn?
I learned that Kenny Dillingham's wife's very competitive and wants to win championships.
Yeah. Although he didn't really answer the question about not coaching anywhere else. Just said his wife lives next door, or his wife's mom. His wife lives with him. But his sister's next door. His parents like 3 doors, saying all that stuff. Paulie, what'd you learn today?
I learned that Gus Johnson had a terrible touchdown call in the Indiana game.
I can't believe. Are you the only human who didn't know that that's a thing that happened?
I did not know that.
How in the world? Do you just not ever go on Twitter?
Not so much on the weekend, no.
Man, that's when I live on Twitter.
I love Twitter. What'd you learn, Matt?
Yeah. Oh, I learned LSU's going to play a basketball game tonight against UNO. That would be Master P's UNO Privateers. You darn right. Let's go. Had no idea.
Yep, it's not.
Hunt just tweeted out his 3 things to watch for the LSU basketball game tonight and didn't even know. So I looked it up. Keep that rolling. Yeah. LSU's a 19.5-point favorite. How do we feel about it? They covered with ease against Tarleton State.
Yeah, no, I mean, I like LSU to win. UNO, though,
of course they're going to win.
No, I'm going to say they don't cover.
No cover.
No cover.
All right, Muse. Have a great night.
After further review.
As we get on down the road, we remind you about Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. No, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the Relief Windows logo. Well, of course, we love Relief Windows. But I got to remind you about Our Lady of the Lake, championship health partner of LSU Athletics. OLOLRMC.com/LSU. OLOLRMC.com/LSU. That's where you can go to the website to find out more. But here's one thing I've learned, certainly, in our relationship with our friends at Our Lady of the Lake. When it comes to healthcare, people primarily want 2 things. You want access and you want convenience. You want to be able to see the doctor you want to see, and you want to be able to do so in a convenient fashion. Our Lady of the Lake puts that at the center of how they approach healthcare. World-class healthcare where you have access and convenience. And it doesn't matter if it's the Regional Medical Center, any of the Lake After Hours, or any of the other great facilities as part of the FMOL health system. It's Our Lady of the Lake and LSU. Together, we roar.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit louisianapropane.com.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Every winner knows a great play starts with a solid game plan. and the right team by your side. At Sunshine, we're here to keep your operation running strong. From tractors to harvesters, we've got the John Deere equipment you need to tackle every job with confidence. Because when the work's done right, there's more time for the things that matter, like cheering on your favorite team. Make Sunshine Quality Solutions part of your playbook this season and learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Supreme Jasmine is premium American-grown rice. From local farms to your table, every grain is supreme. Pick up a bag of Jasmine or any other of our Supreme American rice.
Tiger Country is 100.7 The Tiger. In the car on 100.7 FM or on the 100.7 The Tiger app. 90s country and beyond. 100.7 The Tiger.